Yellow. How we do it? Oh, I got a cough. Hello. Hello, Grogs. Hello, Shiny. Hello, Spectra. Hello, Bread. Hello, Miko. Hello, Echo. How's everybody doing? Babe. Baby, Optimum Prime. Optimum Prime. My throat hurts. I wonder why. Could it be because I've been screaming non-stop for like a whole week? I don't know. Stressed? Damn. I hope you feel better soon. Stress is never any fun. I won't lie, I'm a bit stressed myself, but we chillin'. We're just gonna play some video games and hopefully feel better. I don't think I'm gonna do any geography today, even though I should. Low energy, had upset tummy all day. Damn. I just had 3 pita bread pizzas. Honey Pibby. Wait, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Hold up. Nah, hold on. We should do geography. We're going to do Asia real quick. 3 whole ass pizzas. Well, it is pita pizza, so it's like a slice of pita bread. Honey butter chips with Pibby sound kind of pretty sick, though. Honestly, it does. Are you sure you should be playing a visual novel with a shitty throat? Absolutely not. However, like, I feel like Of the Devil is kind of like the game for everybody right now. I feel like of all games, if I were to put off Of the Devil or like cancel Of the Devil Day, I feel like it would be kind of like criminal of me. Because I was very close to. I won't lie. I kind of wanted to start Dragon Quest XI today. But maybe I'll have to wait till next week for that. That, or I'll just skip out on Majora's Mask this week for it. If I feel like it tomorrow. Because I really want to start Dragon Quest XI. I might replace Monster Hunter Stories 2 with it. I don't know. Monster Hunter Stories 2 has been like chilling all. But like the more I play that game, the more I am like, it really is just like a glorified series of fetch quests and like kind of boring as shit story-wise. Which is a shame because we did just get to where I left off when I stopped playing last time I played the game. And like, I'll be real, the streams don't do too great either. So I think they're consistently like some of my worst performing streams as well. So I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe I just do some Dragon Quest instead. Which, you know, we got Monster Hunter Rise going on right now. Now we started that. Which, by the way, me and Sora actually did end up doing like, God. Like, we probably played like another 3 hours after stream ended last night. So, Rise has been fun at least. But yeah, it's just, unfortunately, stories just it's been difficult to stream. Anyway. Let's do a quick old geography. Let's get the geography out of the way real quick. But while we do geography, how's everybody doing today? I kind of already asked that earlier, but like, what's everybody up to? I did not actually realize that's Pakistan, you fucking idiots.
Taiwan.
I did not actually, you know what, let's just restart. I fucked up like one of the easy ones
Saudi
immediately.
Arabia. Vietnam.
So I did not realize
Korea.
Until yesterday that we were supposed to have another winter storm, which, by the way, I'm turning this down a little more. And then I woke up today and there's like a shit ton of snow everywhere. So I'm like, God damn, I did not realize how this was going to go. Anyone else got snow right now? Snowing again where I live? Well, okay, there we go. Dude, soup sounds pretty good. Since I'm from the southern hemisphere, the weather's making me actively melt alive. Lol, imagine being in the southern hemisphere. No, that's rough though. Fuck, isn't Armenia? Yeah, it's that one. Okay, got it. Nepal. Maldives. God damn it.
Tajikistan.
It's this one. Tajikistan. Uzbekistan,
Cambodia.
Turkmenistan. Okay, Cambodia. There's a holiday.
Myanmar.
Cambodia.
Iraq.
Myanmar, Iraq. Is there?
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan. Oh, Azerbaijan. Oh, that's Bahrain. That's Kuwait. That's UAE, right? This is the UAE. Oh no, these are separate. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is Oman. This is Yemen. Oh man. Oh, Ontario moment. Ontario. Where is Azerbaijan? I actually have like no idea. That's Bhutan, Bangladesh. Okay, it's right. It's okay. So good to know. Azerbaijan's right next to Armenia, which makes sense. Now I'm thinking about it.
Indonesia.
Okay. UAE, Qatar. Got it. Indonesia, Bhutan. That's Bahrain. I've clicked that so many goddamn times. It's actually
Kyrgyzstan. Bahrain.
Like, what's the thing? Bahrain.
Turkey.
This was Bahrain. There we go. Turkey.
Lebanon.
Is wait, Jordan. Yeah.
Singapore.
I was getting things mixed up in my head. Iran. Japan. I know where Japan is.
Russia. Thailand.
I need to find that's Laos.
East
I was like,
Timor.
what's going on here? That's Brunei. Wait, oh, it's that. There we go. I was like, I know it's somewhere around here. Does help. I'm not exactly the most comfortable showing off my body while living in a beach town, dude. I
Bangladesh.
hate. I just hate, you know. Wait, Bangladesh.
Kuwait.
Yes. Kuwait is this one. Uzbekistan is
Yemen.
one of those.
Philippines.
Yemen, Philippines,
China. Sri Lanka.
This,
Malaysia.
right? Yeah. Malaysia. We blew up
Georgia.
Malaysia. Georgia. Oh,
United
yeah, I was about to
Arab
say that's like
Emirates.
next to those ones, right?
Pakistan.
UAE. Pakistan is the one that I always accidentally
Brunei.
click instead of Afghanistan because they all end with a stan. Brunei. Is this the one that I clicked like 15 times earlier and now I just like am not even there? Yeah, there we go. Turkmenistan.
Afghanistan.
That one. Afghanistan, right there. Kazakhstan.
Oman.
Big ass one.
Jordan.
Jordan.
Laos.
Okay, it still counted. I was gonna be really mad if my
Syria.
misclick actually screwed me there.
Taiwan.
Taiwan, India,
Korea.
South Korea. 81's not bad. Actually, 81's not bad. Yeah, Armenia, I still keep getting mixed up. Azerbaijan is next to Armenia. Good to know. Okay, so Afghanistan. See, I'm dumb because I'm always like, I don't know where all the stands are, but I know where Afghanistan and Pakistan are. Those are also stands. So I just gotta use those as my guides, right? So we got Pakistan, Afghanistan, and then Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, which are right next to each other, right above Afghanistan, and then Uzbekistan, and I don't know how to pronounce that one, and then Kazakhstan is the big one at the top. All the stands, including Afghanistan and Pakistan, are next to each other. But yeah, not bad. 81, man. I was honestly expecting like a 60. That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's get to the stuff that people like actually give a shit about. Oh, my game's muted. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, so we're playing Of the Devil today. Here we go. Last time we played, what happened? Right, we started episode 1. And we now have a android daughter, slash wife. Morgan's daughter, my wife, mayhaps. And our friend who was like a big tech guy committed suicide, but he definitely didn't. And we're trying to prove that he didn't. And now I don't remember where we're going. We just talked to a trans baddie not too long ago. Hold on. Backlog, right? Sato. Okay, so yeah, right. We just left that place. Okay. Profiles. That's Fran with the gucky strap. Well, what was the name of oh, Sato? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is who we're talking to. So we're trying to figure out some things about how homeboy died, because he was poisoned, and apparently the poison that was made was like homemade, just like a unpublished chemical compound or something. And then I don't remember where we were going from there, but we'll find out. Up on ramps and down off ramps, above skywalks and under tram lines, the buildings get progressively more polished as we head into the most economically developed part of the city. Corporate territory, national headquarters for the likes of the HAL Industries, Lokchen, I'm assuming that's like Chinese, Tethys, Neath, each of them sheltering their own micro-city of employee accommodations beneath their skyscraper shadows. Lo-fi poison to off yourself too, so true. Whalefall, the entirety of the ocean floor coming together to feast and grow and live. Live off the feet? Excuse me, rotting fat of the leviathans that swallow generations of people by the mouthful. Paying child support is kind of a beta move, to be honest. Dude, I've been saying this for years. Weight is commonly listed, and my weight is... Do I really have to disclose that? Noble lays claim to one of the largest shadows in the city, a towering nerve center for the whole nation's android industry. It's meant to be intimidating, I'm sure, but today I'm glad that Noble keeps such a sizable physical presence here. I need answers about David and his work on Sarah. Answers I never get browsing the company website or speaking to a representative. Synopsis, relationships. There are typically trivia sections as well. Should I start there? Fetid. Fetus. Noble will have their guard up, of course, but even that will tell me something. Where they let me walk, who they let me talk to, history. Their efforts at performative transparency and clumsy obfuscation will. How did you know my father? What? I'm sorry, did I interrupt your brooding? I love her so much, she's so cute. What did you ask? My father, I know you were his friend, but what was your relationship like? Can you just scroll through our socials? Father avoided social media, and your online presence is not significant. You say anything? You saying I don't have enough followers? Essentially. We went to the same college. You studied programming? No, I studied all kinds of different things as an undergrad, but not technology. Is that a good way to prepare for law school? I wasn't preparing for law school, or anything else, really. David, though, he had talent, and he knew he wanted to do something with it. He studied programming, robotics, discrete math, cybernetics. What classes did you share, then? Business ethics. I was the second best student in the class. Really? And he was the first. He was the one who asked the most questions. Not sure about his actual ranking. He found the course challenging, and I clearly didn't, despite being younger. Guess he felt burned. He'd come to me after class to argue and sometimes to ask for help. Father always talked about socializing like it was a chore. It was kind of you to give him a chance. Oh, yes, Morgan. Morgan is so freaking kind. So selfless. Well, like some kind of social butterfly, the belle of the ball. You weren't. One Sunday night, we knocked on the door all panicked, saying he was in bad shape for this tech course. There was a midterm or something the next day. I think it's pretty cool that Sarah's eye spirals are white, whereas Morgan's are black. It's a nice contrast, yes. And also makes her look like a robot. Couldn't make heads or tails of the material, but I did my best to at least quiz him. He wasn't satisfied, though, wanted to cram the rest of the night. Father had to cram for an undergraduate midterm. Did I say something scandalous? He's been called the founder of modern programming. Yeah, well, even founder types can have poor time management when they're 21. So true. I'm 28. No, I'm 27. And wait, hold on. Yeah, no, I'm 27. Sorry, I had to do the math. I'm 27. And I have horrible time management. He was already fried by that point. It wasn't hard to tell that he was really asking for. So I went and stole a study aid for him. You stole a controlled substance just to help him with studying? No, that'd be insane. I just pocketed some breath mints from the common room. Told him to pinch his nose and swallow fast because the taste is so strong. You gave him a placebo. He already knew the content as good as he ever would. What he needed was to sleep. Excuse me. He could barely keep his eyes open by the time I got back from my daring heist. Didn't take much convincing for him to rest his eyes just until it kicked in. And the test? B+, I think. I'm surprised that father stayed close with you after that. You stole and lied to him. I stole and lied for him. Yeah, there's a difference. We're literally oomfies. And David understood that. He was good at understanding things without me having to spell them out. But I guess it's not the kind of thing that gets passed down through programming. Anyway, we kept in touch after that. First year of grad school, he published this paper, The Turing Solution, a framework for programming adaptive linguistic heuristics. One of his advisors came up with that title. David thought it was way too cocky, but it still hasn't failed any no Turing test in the years since. Is it really stealing if it's breath mints? Where are my breath mints? Don't act like you're the one who deserves credit for it. He called me one weekend asking for advice on how to handle all the attention. Job offers, interviews, apprenticeships, invitations to immigrate. What did you tell him? I don't remember telling him anything, actually. A lot of our conversations went like that. He would talk to me about whatever personal or professional problem was stuck in his head that day, and I would nod while he wore himself out. And at the end of the conversation, he'd thank me, even though I hadn't offered a single word of advice. He took Noble's offer, and they took over his education, paid him to work on his master's during the day and attend corporate training at night. Whatever else Noble may be, they were smart enough to start listening to him early. You're referring to his one-point doctrine. Quality over quantity. Simple and elegant, just like his code. Simple and elegant, but anathema to a global corporation with supply chains designed for maximum capacity and just-in-time manufacturing. But obviously they got over their distaste fast enough. In the span of a few years, Noble's gone from making manual labor ads for meager profit to being the world leader in intelligence as a service. Even as he was making money hand over fist, he still kept in contact with a nobody like me. I moved to the city for my apprenticeship. He helped me put a down payment on my apartment. I don't know why. I'm kind of feeling like we're going to get some like some message or something like some sort of thing written by David post mortem. That's going to be like, I know what Morgan is. She's a freaking killer. I have no basis on that. It just feels like it would be kind of a hype moment and aura type beat. Don't know what it would add to the story. He's dead, but you know, made up excuses as to why he couldn't help me move boxes. Is that enough detail for you? Thoroughly convinced that he and I were in fact friends? I am, but Adonai, the favor that you owe him, what was it for? That's private, understand? I have zero interest in talking about it with you. Say you understand. I understand, Adonai. Or maybe he had us kill people. Could you imagine? He will be arriving shortly. Shall I send word ahead? Just tell him David's lawyer is here. July 1st, 2086. Noble Electronics Northeastern HQ. Sublobby A8. 8. I've been here before. This blue sky. I've been here before. Is this not the place we were at before? When we first found Sarah? Am I crazy? Sat right here in this lobby waiting for David to come and treat me to lunch. At least I think it was this lobby. Could have been some other floor. Could have been an entirely different building. I guess it's different. It looks similar, though. All these corporate towers of Babel feel like interchangeable fractals to me. Folding in on themselves in patterns of narcissistic paranoia. So monumental in the scale of their hubris, they needed to use non-Euclidean geometry when drawing up the blueprints. I skipped... the greatest minds of each generation coming together just to find the most expensive way to shove their heads up their asses. The hologram trees are pretty, even if it's probably the closest thing to real trees in the city. They are hologram trees, aren't they? That's so effed up. Dude, I would love to have a hologram tree like this where like the leaves are just like lights. That would be so cool. Like, assuming we still have real trees also. Adonai, something bothering you? Just doing the math on how long we'll be kept waiting here. Apparently someone will be here shortly, so maybe if I pass the time by glaring around the place, it'll improve my mood. We must get information. They changed the logo again. Noble Electronics. How does it feel stepping in here? Is this some kind of religious experience for you? It's just the corporation where my father worked. Careful now, they'll burn you for heresy against the company. You said it again, the company, as if it's a proper noun. You're mimicking the employees, aren't you? So it can't obey simple orders, but it can pick up on that. Stop calling her it! Wouldn't that make your light bill skyrocket? Well, the trees aren't real, so I can fantasize that if they were real, that fantasy would also be true. The like not having to pay money for it. Is it just a part of corporate culture? Noble's one of the biggest corporations there is, one of the biggest there's ever been. We mere humans can't hope to escape the gravity of anything that size, no matter where you live or how far off the grid you think you are. So imagine what it's like working for them. You live in company dorms, work in company quarters. Wherever you go, that logo's above your head. You eat, sleep, and breathe on Noble's timetable at its discretion. I would kill myself. When you spend your whole life inside of it, Noble must feel big enough to be the only company there is. Morgan, you color it one more time, you're going to the shredder. I'm saying. I forget. Whoops. I'm confusing it with in Stars in Time, right? Yeah, okay. I was like, do they have pronouns and character bios in this game? But yeah, that was in Stars in Time. That did that. Excuse me. When you spin your wait. I don't. Did I read? Whatever. When you spend your whole life inside of it, Noble must feel big enough to be the only company there is. All right. Cool. So much energy, so many people, all so intent. You kidding? It's Saturday. The place is half empty. But doesn't everyone work on Saturdays? All the parents do, so they don't need to find childcare on Sunday. Everyone else flips a coin, I guess. All these people for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. What could they all possibly be doing? Making work for themselves. You can be very cynical, can't you? Yeah, I'm terrible. But that guy over there's just been jiggling his cursor for the last 20 seconds. So real, man. But no, dude, you gotta understand, if we make people work more hours a week, then it's good for economy and efficiency. I think this is only one room. This complex is so massive that it doesn't even feel man-made. It's like it was carved out of the rock by waves, like it's always been here. That's the con. If this place was actually natural, there'd be birds everywhere. I hadn't considered that. Why aren't there birds in here? Probably because of what they do to the ones that get in. I'm kidding. Though I don't have a better explanation. Whoever comes to greet us better have a pulse and some goddamn authority. My mood's starting to sour, and they just send me the first link in the infinite chain of corporate bureaucracy. I'll make them wish. Morgan? Oh, new character. We don't know this fella. We oven the cold devil out hot eat the Jesus Christ, scrubbing. I'm too stupid for this. You can't do this to me. Welcome in. That's me. Hey there, Android Manufacturing Quality Control, Eastern Division. Evan Dolls, he says, like it's an afterthought. I can't help but fantasize about what the fallout would be if such a large corporation were to collapse. Whenever a cyberpunk thing introduces massive corpse, I can't help but wonder about that. Genuinely, I like kind of get off to that. I won't lie. What do you call it? Oven if you of out hot of in the cold food, of out hot eat the food. What's a name compared to your place in the hierarchy? You seem familiar, have you? I'm David's lawyer. Oh, then we must have... Apologies. Let me first say how sorry I am about his passing. You and everyone else at the company must be going through a lot right now. As if it's a proper noun. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me. You're welcome, but it's no big deal. Everyone's on the razor today, but what else is new? Compared to PR legal right now, our workloads in QA are... Never mind, how can I assist you? Lala, welcome in, hello. How are you? Shortly before his passing, Dr. Asher began the process of registering this android. Yes, that is correct. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to finish the job. Look at that. It's definitely custom. Gee, you think? Good thing I sought out an expert. Warm, it goes without saying. Reminds me of the A16 Premiere, if anything. The barcode's clearly printed, no visible defects. But you're right, it doesn't correspond to anything we've got on file. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, so we're getting her registered. That's what we're doing. According to this game, the state nationalizes the companies before it gets that bad. But how would that... There's a lot to wrap my head around. Been sleeping and playing Infinity Nikki today. That's pretty epic. Hi, Yooree. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing awful. No, I'm doing all right. How are you, Dragon? Hello. Or A. Actually, how should I refer? I'm so bad, man. I get like way too self-conscious about names too. Because I doubt anyone's actually like that freaking pissy about it, but I'm like, I don't know. I've always had a fear of saying people's names my whole life. I don't know where it comes from. Mal, welcome in. But how are y'all doing? Like, I've talked about this before. I've always had trouble with names. Because, to me, saying someone's name is always really intimate to me. So I always got scared to say people's names. But because of that, I wouldn't learn names as, like, I wouldn't be as proactive using names and remembering them. So now I'm just old and still can't remember names. And I still get uncomfortable using people's names if I don't know them very well. I don't know why. I don't know what about my environment taught me that saying someone's name is intimate, but like it's something I've always been very uncomfortable with. The way my heart died for a second, what the hell? Dragon is fine. The dragon is a mouthful. What if it's the dragon, but it's like specifically Surskit when Surskit in the Pokemon anime goes well, they sent you the right man for the job. Now we just need to go to the right place. Not far, I hope. It's in the building. In the building. That can mean anything from down the hall to half a day's hike. The production line on B9 should have everything we need. You do manufacturing inside your corporate headquarters? B9's a fully functional production floor, but it was only built for demonstrative purposes. New clients make deals upstairs about how many and what shape and size. They come down to the basement to see how the sausage is made. They have enough money to build a fake factory just for guests. I mean, yeah, man. Can't help but wonder what earpiece he has. Seems like a hearing aid. It does kind of look like it, huh? I'm drawing Yooree. Freaking epic. I would hope you were drawing, like, real Yooree and not me. Don't worry. As long as you're only giving tours, not giving away company secrets. No need to worry about that. We take intellectual security very seriously around here. No kidding, there are 11 cameras on us at the moment that I can see. And who knows how many pairs of modded eyes are aimed our way. Clearly nothing happens here without the almighty company knowing about it. So if they try to claim ignorance about anything, it's gonna piss me off. Do not. I would rather vomit than think about that chat message. Lead the way. July 1st, 2086. It's been July 1st for like the whole damn game so far, right? A long day, man. So much has happened. Noble Electronics Northeastern HQ. Basement, floor 9. It's really furnished down here. This looks cool. What the hell? Is it weird that I want to like lick everything on screen right now? Like I just want to get electrocuted and lick everything. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but it's pretty rare to get to see all this in person, you know? Would you mind terribly if I looked around for a moment? No problem. I got some prelim paperwork I need to handle anyway, so have at it. Better take full advantage. I'll need more than cursory knowledge if I want to figure out where Sarah came from and why David wanted me to take custody. Where she came from, bro, she made him. Well, no, because that was the thing. He wasn't a hardware guy, right? Like, he designed the AI, but actually, like, building the physical, like, hardware was, like, not his thing. I know this is the Yooree game, but I need Dao's Yaoi on my desk tonight. Is it just a Yooree game? There's got to be, like, other types of gay people in here. Wouldn't want to lose you among the rest of the merchandise. Alright. Yeah, let's watch the arm. What's being built out there? Our top of the... I hate when it covers that. Our top of the line brand new bestsellers, the Animate 16. Warm. Looks kind of cold out there. Keep the factory floor refrigerated. Slows the organics already turned metabolic activity to a minimum. Explains why the room doesn't smell like rotting flesh. The flesh out there is only somewhat rotting, slowly. I just meant I'm surprised to see metal. While all the A16s have alloy endoskeletons, the organics are layered on later in the process. That's like what Sarah told me about herself. Maybe she really was the A16's prototype. It's hard to imagine bridging the gap between her and these scattered doll parts. Get that you can grow just about anything from Lax Gemini. But how do you get the synthetic and the organic to work together? That was our first concern when R&D began work on the worm concept. The 1.0s were real skin with synthetic muscle. It was a horror show. Metal pulling on skin was just right. 2.0, they worked backwards. Organic muscles, organic skin. But digital signals on organic hardware was a dead end. Didn't the muscles flex when you passed an electric current through them? It flex and unflex, sure, but that's not nearly precise enough for facial expressions. I feel like, should he be telling us this stuff? Because we're like, as far as he knows, we're just some guy, right? Yeah, we're David's lawyer, but he doesn't know, like, our personal relationship with the guy, right? Also, okay, his hands distract me because his hands are, like, segmented. You see this? Like doll joints, almost. Is he a robot? Looked like puppets strung up on live wires. We used the test footage to haze interns, actually. I think those are rings. The top part are rings. Like right under the knuckles. But then, like, each fragment, like, every part of the phalange, like, every part where you could bend your finger has, like, a whole, like, chipped-looking line. Might be prosthetic. That's what I'm thinking, like, is it prosthetic or is he maybe robotic? That or his hands are just, like, kind of wrinkly. But I forget y'all can't see my mouse, but yeah, like, right where the fingers attach to the main hand, those are, I assume those are rings. But yeah, it's like the little, like, lines after. Very curious. Mayhaps we must look at his profile. Born on August 1st. Oh my god, August Oomfies. Blood type A-. Okay, okay. Okay, way too light to be, an android, I think. Wait, hold up! Struggles with solving captchas. I'm sorry, nope. He literally struggles to prove that he's human. He's an android. I don't need to read the rest. He's an android. We used to test the footage of Hayes interns, actually. Must have figured something out. The A16 wouldn't look out of place on the runway. Thank you, we try. We ended up reaching out to mud companies. Well, we actually bought out about half a dozen of them, but right. They figured out how to get human nervous systems moving mechanical limbs decades ago. So we just need to get mechanical nervous systems to move living limbs. Very clumsy attempt to avoid using the word human. High precision mods are slotted straight into the nervous system. They receive their input from neurotransmitters, not bioelectricity. So you had to do the opposite? Exactly. We created a synthetic neurotransmitter that our androids could use to communicate with organic flesh. Where did that breakthrough come from, Dr. Asher? Partly. He led the team that built the motor neurons in this analogy. He carried commands from the central nervous operating system to individual muscles across the chassis. But the synatonin... Sorry, the synthetic analog serotonin. That was actually an old brainchild from the VP of Android Futures, Helen Jung. Helen Jung? 안녕하세요? Waves, bears, bears, hello. Wait, hold on, what was that thing? I missed something. Did something happen in chat that I missed? Did something goofy? Oh, okay, got it. Bearsy, how are you? I think it might be pronounced like Young, like the psychologist. I mean, it looks, the name looks Korean to me. But the annoying thing about Korean is romanization in Korean is so goddamn inconsistent. So if you see a U, that could be Jung, it could be like Jong, or it could be Jung. Like it's like I hate it. It pisses me off. I want to go with Jung, and then maybe if Pretzel shows up, I can ask. Oh man. Arvin with Pokemon with short hair. You know what? I see it, actually. Playing Identity V 5. I hear that name a lot, and I always forget, like, what that game even is. Hasn't David mentioned a Dr. Jung before? Sounds impressive. She's one hell of a biochemist. Or she was, I guess. Not much time for individual lab work when you get to her kind of pay grade. Excuse me. It's like Dead by Daylight. So I would hate it. So the Jin collaborated with David on the technology that enabled warm androids. As I thought, whatever went to Sarah that makes the android so distinct, he couldn't have taken sole credit for it. Jung, did he partner with her on this? Interesting. Wasn't there something on the desk? Yeah. An inhaler left out on the desk. Probably half a dozen empty ones in one of the drawers. Dawes, the inhalers. They're distributed by the company, correct? Oh, we're going to finally find out what the deal with these are. I love the button eyes. The button eyes? So this is where Arvin ended up. What the hell? Dead by Daylight, but with Coraline-like character. Oh, that's what we're talking about. Okay, gotcha. That sounds kind of familiar. Got it. Oh yeah, HR handles it. They personalize your dosage and prescription, update it based on performance and job fulfillment reviews. Other corporations do the same way. Yeah, pretty much. Everyone's trying to keep pace with each other, so can't have your employees losing focus on the job. Could cost you who knows how much in lost efficiency. Oh, I'm sure. Sorry if it's this intensive, but given what happened to David, are overdoses common in the company? Yeah, he says. Overdoses, that is, not hospitalizations or deaths. It's all pretty organized these days. Back when I started in consulting, pretty much everyone had an embarrassing story for the first 2 years where they popped a few too many greens and missed the on-ramp. Popped greens. Used to be pills. A green to get you going, yellow to keep you there, swallow a red after brushing your teeth and get into your bunk fast. Wow, this is miserable. But yeah, the inhalers are a huge improvement, like going from torches to the light bulb. They sync straight to your personal biomes and adjust dosage in real time. Overdoses are way down. Okay, so the inhalers are just like, they're basically like performance enhancers, like for your brain, essentially. They're like 5-hour energy, but like somehow more fucked up. Hello, Otis, how are you? Hello. That's great to hear, is it? Trainees under me don't realize how good they've got it. Kids probably won't even have to learn how to purge. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, the amount of times I've had to purge in my time, let me tell you. Designer drugs of some kind. What the hell? Seems to have to share some components with that coffin Sarah was napping in. Dawes does quality assurance. Is it some kind of android calibration device? That's probably what he'll use to register Sarah. What's a little... Is Sarah tall enough to for it to recognize her? Tiny. Alright, what's this? Something going on. There's something out there that caught my eye when we came in. Very familiar shade of crimson. If I squint through the glass out the floor, there are temperature-controlled fluid tanks. Through glass and plastic flows an eye-catching scarlet that transitions into... Oh, so you add the blood towards the end. I mean the accident? Yeah, relatively late in the process. Something out of place? Androids have blood, even if it's not officially labeled as such, but it isn't red, it's pink. Sometimes milky, sometimes neon, occasionally garish, but pink. I just didn't think the accident would be red. Alright, sorry, I barely noticed it at this point. The color's natural, comes from the biomanufacturing process. The chromofuge out there removes the byproducts, the waste, the excess pigment, changing it from blood red to psychopop pink. Gotcha. Juno, welcome in. We are not far. We have barely done anything. Do not worry. Without the chromaflage, our android's flesh would have come out looking all the wrong colors. It may be true. It probably isn't, but it may be. But I have a simpler explanation. Blood is primal. The sight of it carries weight. They changed the color of the product's blood so that when an android gets a bottle broken against its face, no one bats an eye. Damn. That's some world building, man. Alright. Anything before I move on to the last big thing over here? Okay. Feels like I've seen this before. Yeah, there was one of these in the lab, right? I was doing an MRI scan. Damn. Can't believe every Danganronpa character is just an android from Of the Devil. This is so effed up. That's right, there's one in David's lab. I knew that! That's the nanograde elementary manufacturer, Nanofacture for short. Real high quality piece of machinery. Each of them built in-house by Randock Mechanics. What does it do? Nano level flash fab. Basically a 3D printer for nanomachines. Nanomachines. That explains how inhuman they act. Oh, you're not wrong. You build nanomachines in your factories for use in your androids. The raw materials are cheap, literally elementary, so no sense of getting them shaped in. It's mostly the medical models that make use of them. Inject a couple thousand nanites into a patient's bloodstream, run diagnostics, and provide a solution. A 3D printer for nanomachines. So what kind of ink does it use? Silicon, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, building blocks. Feed into the nanoprinter and assembles the machines particle by particle. Do you guys remember this thing? I remember seeing it like maybe 4 years ago. Of like it's like this little, it looks like a black like sludge. It looks like a leech, but it's like it literally has like nanomachines in it. I forget if it's like it's controlled through magnets or if it's like remote control. I forgot what it is, but like there was a demonstration about how like it's like flexible enough to like go into your bloodstream, like your veins, and like crawl through to like physically like unclot, like push out a blood clot or something. Do y'all remember that? Dude, I forgot about Big Hero 6. What if it was actually, what if it was, you're thinking of Venom from Spider-Man? I'm not, it's real! It's real. Hold on, you're pissing me off. I need to look this up now. Hold up. Nanomachine blood clots thing, right?
This is a new.
Yes! Yeah. I found it. Oh, whoops.
For removing.
Oh. Eh? What the hell was that? Oh, it's Northern Lion. Wait, where's? Okay, there we go. This thingy.
For removing blood clots. It was invented.
By the way, if anyone is squeamish about blood vessels, which I very much am, you might want to look away for a bit.
By accident, and it works by wringing the red blood cells out of the clot.
Oh god, okay, this freaks me out. But hold on, just get to the thing.
Red blood cells
No, just get to the damn thing.
Clearing the red just afterwards, like stroke, or you can see rid of clots.
Show me the thing crawling around. The blood. Okay, whatever. I can't. It freaks me out. I remember seeing a video where it's like a little like slimy thing that like crawls around, but it's not showing that. It's just showing the freaky part that I don't like. It's okay, we believe you. Yeah, please do, because I don't want to keep watching that. I can't do blood vessels. It's like my #1 thing I can't do. Anyway, they feed into the nanoprinter and it assembles the machines particle by particle. Like a ribosome building structurally complex proteins out of chemically simple amino acids. Must be time consuming. You would think, but Randolph cracked the code on parallel microfracturing. Or fracturing. The inside's crystalline, sprawling like an ant's nest. Raw materials enter at one of the thousands of different entry points, combining and recombining at intersections. The finished product ends up at the center and drips out a liquid solution. Distilled nectar swimming with millions of nanites in just 2 minutes. Nectar, it's sticky. It can be depending on the desired output, but the door vacuum seals while it's cooking, so don't worry. Here's how we'll torture you, Otis. #1, the marrow furnace. I hope it doesn't hurt too much. Wait, slugs in the veins, bro. They literally just put me into your bloodstream, and then I just like I just go hand to hand and beat up the blood clots. Actually, it's completely spill proof. What a relief. Not exactly a box of paper clips. David could just have brought home. Not exactly a box of paper clips. David could have just brought home from the office one day. Must have brought his own for some reason. Sometimes I just like accidentally add a comma somewhere in a sentence. All right. Oh, advance. I can. Oh, but not yet. I need to read this. What have we got on this data pad? Some kind of write up. Okay, everybody, you get. I gotta open a Pibby for this. Hold on. This is so important. I gotta open a Pibby because we need to memorize the yellow dialogue. Okay? Remember, if you don't remember all the yellow, you get freaking banned. Hold on. Big Sippa. All right. Here we go. All right, on the subject of Sullivan's Peak, much of our world today, and in fact, much of the world's economy is heavily influenced by the uncanny valley. The thought of experiment provides a simple and easily applied explanation for the gaps we see in the otherwise wide spectrum of automated dependence that assist us in nearly every industry on the planet. Right. Automated dependence assists us in nearly every industry on the planet. That is important. There's a very simple primal truth to it. We like things that resemble the living, like cartoons and puppets and toys. And we like things that are damn near indistinguishable from the living, like whatever name Noble's latest products are being sold under. But there are deep, deep trenches between those two ends where products are universally appalling to human sensibility. All right, cartoons, puppets, and toys, universally appalling. Okay, Uncanny Valley. The letters with jaundice. No, they're so important. The Uncanny Valley will no doubt remain a useful tool for teaching, marketing, and design for generations to come, but already we are seeing ways in which it fails. It's becoming increasingly clear to us that the space between nearly indistinguishable and truly indistinguishable is much wider than we ever suspected. It may not only be a part of the map that we must it may not be the only part of the map that we must fear, okay? The space between the nearly indistinguishable and truly indistinguishable is much wider, okay? I propose we breach these gaps in knowledge by looking at the speculative fiction of Robert J. Sullivan, who is the most well-known work, Equal Under One Sky, that described a concept which thereafter has been called Sullivan's Peak. Through the lens of this characters and their so very divided world, Sullivan demonstrated that the Uncanny Valley does in fact have its own peak on the other side, a point past which making artificial existence any more human in its features serves only to make the user experience more uncomfortable. Okay. Too human. It's like when your TV set has like the weird smoothing effect, and then things look too smooth and it looks like unrealistic. Excuse me. More uncomfortable, more difficult, and more fraught with moral pitfalls. Once you reach Sullivan's Peak, traveling any further only has diminishing returns. The implications of this idea are far-reaching. We will very soon reach a point in which the designers of ads can only make their creations less lifelike or less likable, a hard stopping point for technological progress. What then, we must ask? Oh, looks like you forgot to sign into this device. Drop your thumbprint below and we'll get you squared away so you can keep reading. It's like Ocarina of Time, 60 frames a second. True. Were they passing it around as a gag, or are they actually afraid of Sullivan's Peak around here? Noble must be wary of it. The peak does exist. They'll be coming up on it fast now that the androids are warm. Noble's entire product line, maybe their entire industry, could go bottoms up if the people start to think it's cruel. I will say, probably one of my issues with this game is whenever those chips pop up, they always pop up over the lines while you're reading. Highlighted text always reminds me of human. I remember you are genocide. What? If there is any indication of where their androids are headed, I could see some people getting uncomfortable. Nah, everybody would be so happy if we had more Sarahs walking around. All done. You ready to get the ad handled? Thanks for humoring me. Can you have it step in the scanner? As he says, understood. It's an Undertale Deltarune meme. Oh, I wouldn't know. What? She's been turned into pee. What the hell? Right then, what are we looking at here? Whoa. There's a lot to unpack here. We theorize that it may have been Asher's pincushion. A pincushion, huh? That would explain some of what I'm reading here. Look at her eyes glow. She's so cute. What language is that on the screen? Tess, you know, Tesseract? All Noble products and, well, pretty much all products, period, are programmed in Tess. Easy to read and write, stay compliant. Now this model, what's it go by? Sarah? This Sarah model. It's got everything from the 16th line has, that's for sure. Organic skin, hybrid muscles, advanced facial processing, and emoting. There's a lot crammed in here that's still in development, like in the idea phases. Solar cell hair strands, decentralized redundant power, mental physical overclocking with extended tolerances. Data storage is so long I can't. No, wow, he had to measure it using. She's so proud. Hell of a poker face. Wait, decryption and signal hijacking? Hacking? Essentially. Does that mean it could hack its own tenants? No, that's unthinkable, literally, for an ad. For an ad to break its tenants would be like you stepping into traffic or dropping a baby. Even if you're physically capable of it, it's not something you would ever choose to do. You sure about that? Maybe things took, everybody's talking about things I don't understand in chat. Some people do walk into traffic. Psychotics, addicts, the mentally ill. Does that mean that they're androids? Well, no, there aren't any crazy androids, so yeah. I guess my analogy doesn't hold up. It's okay, so it can't hack itself, but it's given the ability to hack other systems. The industry line is in such a, the industry line is that such a capability could be an option in certain emergency scenarios, breaking through the firewalls and encryption of surrounding electronics to broadcast directly to police or military channels. Now hear me out, right? Hear me out. She would totally drop a baby. I'm saying, what if she's like the guy from Detroit Become Human, and she can just start like humanifying like all of the other androids. Are you planning to play Undertale Deltarune anytime soon? I don't really. I played Undertale when it came out. I wasn't crazy about it. But I'm like a little interested in Deltarune, but it's like so far down on my list. Like I would say like there's a chance, like there's a likely chance I'll play it eventually, but definitely not anytime soon. Breaking through the fire. Oh, I already said that. Speaking of military, the musculoskeletal setup is drastic. I've never seen this on a consumer model. Can you lift a car or something, Sarah? Most cars, it would depend on the center of gravity. Lady, this Sarah could wrestle a public disturbance walker and come out on top. Those stomping behemoths they bring out for riot suppression? In terms of computational ability, the estimate says, that can't be right. Look, Dawes, I was actually hoping you could tell me something about the software, the metadata. Who worked on it and when? Right, okay. If you weren't that into In Stars in Time, I can't see you being that all into Deltarune. That's, yeah, kinda. Where I'm at. I think its sense of humor is pretty up your alley, but I don't know the rest. Yeah, I don't, because I will say, like, the sense of humor of Undertale already wasn't really for me. So, editing logs have been purged. That doesn't sound very above the board. Sorry, I can't tell you anything about who worked on Sarah or when. Any chances you can restore those logs? Not here, not with this machine. I need the computers that were actually used for programming this model. Any ideas where those would be? Sarah? I cannot answer that question with any accuracy. I had a feeling you might say that. That's right. Sorry, I can tell you that the code is unique. There's hints of the A16 in there, and a few of the same conclusions. It's just Dr. Asher, whoever took very different paths to get there. So Sarah has even less in common with every other android on the inside. Sorry, didn't expect to hit a dead end here. Not at all, you've been very helpful. Can we still get the registration done? Yeah, no problem. We've got the software and forms all set up here. Occasionally we'll let a new business partner bring one home fresh from the oven, you know? Oven, gross, yeah. The first 2 chapters are free? Oh, yeah, I think so. But yeah, I don't know. Again, one day I'll try it out, but I'm not too interested in playing it now. Many other games, especially long games, I'm more interested in currently. Ugh. All right, a few basic questions then. Who's going to be the official owner of this unit? She is. As it says, unless the will disagrees, it's my responsibility. Right then. You find with the designation Sarah, we could set it to anything you'd like. Well, actually... oh, don't you dare. Never mind, Sarah will do fine. Okay, this part's all standard. Civilian model, address, contact info I can get from your crumbs. Do you want to reset the factory defaults? Could clear up a lot of quirks. Not right now. Last thing then is the grading. I'm rating 23 tenants here, nothing too far out of the ordinary. 23, that's higher than I expected talking with it. She seems more malleable than that. Don't blame yourself. Guessing tenant count from outward appearances has become a crapshoot. Not like it used to be. It used to be they only had 3 tenants total and every unit had to have them. Then came the first accidents, the first lawsuits, then the hearings in the legislature, and the demand for more tenants. I was about to say, is it like the iRobot laws of robotics type thing, I'm assuming? Which I'm assuming that's probably the 3 tenets they're talking about is the 3 laws of robotics or whatever. Tenant making sure ads couldn't endanger the state. A tenant saying that ads wouldn't divulge private information without prior consent. There's a campaign calling for a tenant to weigh child and adult lives equally during risk assessment. There was a campaign calling for a tenant to do the opposite. Companies wanted their asses covered. Customers wanted guarantees. There's never much incentive to deny a requested tenant, so the list just ballooned. Until the military entered the market in full force. It's not like you don't approve. I wouldn't go that far. They need their ads to be able to pull the trigger when ordered to. Without clearing 5,000 lines of bloated, hard-coded decision points to get there, I get that. But since the armies are the only ones using tech with bare minimum tenants, all the best, least cluttered, most elegant code is only used for war games. It's not very romantic. Hold up. He's kind of awesome, though. Well, not like I was on the jury. It's part of Advanced Defense Projects versus Zenith Dynamics. The Supreme Court sided with the military's request and set up new precedent that every other army around the world would race to meet. Changing tenants from a mandated list at the root of every ad source code to a choose-your-own checklist. It's funny, as with the most tenants, they're so locked up you can't even have a conversation with them. Outside the armed forces, the only ads with single-digit tenant counts are just vacuuming floors. The most impressive ones, like what you've got here, fall somewhere in the middle. Sorry, I went on a tangent there. Only thing left is the evaluation. What gets evaluated? It's a little financial worth for insurance purposes. Yeah, the insurance companies make sure we have this very accurate algorithms for this. No room for human error, they insisted with no sense of irony. Wow. I mean, I knew it was custom, but what price could they have possibly? That's a lot of digits. That's a lot of damage. Found some celery sticks in the fridge. We're so back. If we make it out of this heist, we'll get out of here with a huge salary. Huge salary. All this transhumanism really makes me think about how hard it is to be human. Yarp. She's worth $1 cerillion. So true, dude, actually. Excuse me. I'm so burpy from those pizzas. I'm so sorry. You should know, these formulae are pretty conservative with their estimates. Stingy, even. So here's really David's last and greatest work. They say some things are priceless, but when you force an insurance algorithm to pick a number, try not to get any scratches on it, I guess. You spoke differently back there. With Dawes, you spoke like he did, it seemed. Like I copied his accent. You seemed to mirror his effect, his tone. It's called being friendly. What's your point? It was just an observation. You can choose to keep those to yourself, you know. No tenant required. Why were you so concerned about registering me in the first place, Adonai? Sarah learns about masking. So true. For the same reason I wouldn't drive around in a car without a license plate. Any cop or even just a well-placed camera could have spotted your barcode and seen that it wasn't set up with any actual data. And then they would have arrested me and then they would have thrown me in the slammer. I was about to say, they would have arrested me and put you in an evidence locker. Or disassembled her. An android can't get arrested. People get arrested. Property gets seized. And then smashed. Great, you put us over the weight limit. I did no such thing. Uh-oh. Okay. Morgan Counselor, your presence has been requested on the upper floors. Well, that's good. Who's asking? Vice President of Android Futures, Helen Jung. Oh, shit. Shouldn't have assumed I still had the opening move. Tell her I'll be right up. I'll redirect your elevator now. Taking control of your elevator is very convenient, forceful. As if Noble's trying to directly steer your investigation. If Noble wanted to shut me down, they wouldn't bother to be so subtle. I suppose they could simply refuse to cooperate. Or just let the elevator drop. Yeah. Damn, bro, it's still July 1st. I wish I was a shrimp. Honestly, so true. Noble Electronics, Northeastern HQ. Executive Office, Jung. Ooh, got the wide ass pants. Now hold up. I just see the silhouette and I want the fit. Alright, what's up, homegirl? Right. Speaking first is a sign of weakness, is it? And here I thought I could avoid wading into the swamp of corporate pretend power dynamics. Hobby, hello, how are you? I'll let her stew. Silence is only awkward if you care. I can ignore social cues all day long. Yes! I always like this time of day. Not too muggy for you? No, I never liked a clear blue sky. It always seemed cold to me. You're in luck, the sky gets more colorful every year. As the air quality drops, childish, isn't it? Marveling at the small sheen of rainbow dancing on the surface of a massive oil spill. Apologies for waxing poetic. It's been a very unusual 24 hours around here. I thought the office was just that color. Maybe it is. Don't let your dreams be dreams. it being July 1st is a metaphor for homosexuals not being allowed in this world. There's so many freaking gay people here, though. I wish I had the productivity she has to get this all done in a day. Honestly, Jesus Christ, same. Wait, actually, that's a good point. Without a clock, must be hard to time tell of day. Yeah, it has looked like nighttime at all times, huh? At Night City, you can suck my dick. Anyway, Dr. Jung. Just Miss is fine. Miss Jung. I get the feeling you didn't bring me up here to talk about the weather. No, I brought you up here to express my condolences. I'm very sorry for your loss. Thank you, though I could say the same. I know you and David worked together for many years. Yes, we did, but as much as I'd like to just drop everything and process, the company wheels don't stop spinning for anything. Or anyone. Was Dawes of any help? She sent him trying to be helpful or just trying to control the narrative? He was great, but that must mean you know why I'm here. I don't want to make assumptions. No need, I'll be explicit. I'm here as an officer of the court, which means I'm bound by law to document every rock I turn over, and every person I speak to. Yes, the lawyers made that all very clear. Lawyers? You have an android? It's not one of ours. You can tell that quickly. Got all the faces memorized? It's easy enough to remember the major archetypes we use, yes. If you're nuts about your work, maybe. In Night City, you can come. It's a recent acquisition. Very recent, in fact. One of David's last requests, apparently. David asked you to take it. I've been told that you've been to David's estate already. Please give me full access to the scene. Did he know that he wasn't alone last night? Yes, there was a single witness who met with him and called emergency service when he fainted. Yeah, it was her, man. I was that witness. Yup! Choose your Pokemon starter. Wait, actually... This is what you see when you enter the first dungeon, or the first dungeon. This is what you see when you enter the first gym in Unova. They're like, oh, you have an otter? You will be fighting the android over here. What's that? You have a pig? You'll be fighting the lady who kind of looks like Persona 3 guy. Obviously, there are many people David would bother meeting with in person, let alone welcoming them into his home and offering them a drink. Pokemon games if they were cool, so true. I always knew that Jung was a superior on paper, though not in fame. I knew that the witness had Executive Plan 3 insurance, so they had to be higher up than David. Well then, do your lawyers know we're having this conversation? Of course. We're pulling their hair out about it as we speak. Can't imagine why the police cleared you, and you were very well within your rights to ask for some privacy given the high-profile nature of all that's happened. So why call me up here? Why cut through all the red tape your lawyers painstakingly hid you behind? Eventually you or some clever lawyer like you would get the record opened. Through legal means or otherwise, the company's enemies are legion and they have a prying knife for every occasion. Still, that would have taken time you could use to get ahead of what could be the biggest PR hurdle Noble's ever seen. Touché. And... so perhaps the truth of the matter is that I simply didn't want to hide. David was my colleague for several years. If I were in your shoes, I would have questions as well. You're doing this for my sake. No, my reasons are purely shellfish. I'm only hoping that talking to someone whose job isn't to defend me from all consequences might prove therapeutic. Really nice of this game to just flat out tell you she's the witness. So many games to try to hide it for no reason. Yup. Yeah, I need to play Black and White 2 eventually, but I never finished Black and White 1. But the next Pokemon game we play has already been decided for a long time. You know, whenever the Pokemon Platinum video is done in 2028. If she wants to play Confessional, but that's fine by me. But is that really all that's going on here? Why don't you start from the beginning then? Oh, here we go. Are we about to do some interrogating? You went to his home last night? Yes, at around 7:30 p.m., the building's penumbra captured all that quite clearly. You fell ill around 8 p.m., so you spent half an hour together. Why the late call in person? We had an intense discussion yesterday afternoon. David never came in on Saturdays, and I didn't want to spend the weekend glaring at him through screens, so I visited and he let me in and we talked. I hope that I went into him blind and I thought it was going to be like a Platinum situation. Yeah, I still don't know anything about Black and White 2. Like, I hardly know anything about it. Confessional with the devil instead of God. What the hell? This is so poetic. About? Good old days, if you can believe that. Back when we were both new to the company, eager to make a name for ourselves. How long ago was that? 7 or 8 years ago. Okay. Dodged a bullet with that time frame. Miss Jung? Putting a number on it doesn't sound that long ago, but it feels... Well, it's been a while like that, just talking. He was lively and sharp. I never would have thought that a few minutes later, that he'd be dead. That he would commit suicide in front of me. A firm reply. What happened? 8:15, he said he wanted to toast. He got up, walked back into his workshop, and then he must have went down to his basement to get us a bottle. I checked some messages in the meantime, enjoyed the view. In other words, she stayed on camera. He came back with a bottle of whiskey and 2 plastic cups. We drank and talked. He got quieter, spoke less. I thought he was just getting drunk. I didn't get worried until he started to fall asleep. You tried to wake him? He wasn't responding. I tried to shake him awake, but he didn't seem... I left him and ran to the kitchen to use the security system. Didn't think to use your phone? No, I suppose I didn't. But it worked out. The Penumbra's emergency protocol summoned a VTOL straight to his helipad with one button press. When I returned to the parlor, he was limp. I moved him to the floor and as delicately as I could. He had a heartbeat, but I just did what I could until they arrived. You went with them to the you went with them to the hospital, I take it. Yes, they insisted. They checked my vitals and ran a tox screen, which came back clean. So did David's for all the good it did him. I wasn't paying close attention to what they were saying at that point. I'm sure they ran through every step of the CCE SOP. Summoning an ambulance and half an A press. What if David tried to kill her, but was dumb and drank the poison himself? Oh my god, wait, hold up. That's a bit in something. Oh my, what is it? There's a bit in a comedy. Please don't be a Family Guy bit where someone like puts poison in a drink and then they get switched and then they like have the other guy drink it, but then they die instead. The Princess Bride? That was the Princess Bride? Really? I actually did not know that. It's a common bit. Okay. I've actually never seen The Princess Bride. I've seen a couple of scenes, but I've never actually just sat and watched it. Okay, The Princess Bride is the one where the guy gets scared half to death, so his lower body is dead, right? Is that the same movie or is that a different movie? Because that's like the only bit I remember from that movie, and it might not even be that movie. But that's a good bit. Anyway, that's what they were paid to do. You seem certain that it was suicide. Yes. Why? As I said, he got quieter as the time passed and he spoke less. But the last thing he said to me, the last clear thing he said, was that he was happy ending it here. Said he was content. And he downed his glass after that. He drank every last drop. Does that sound like David Asher to you? Curious, restless perfectionist David? No, I guess it doesn't. Alright. Boy, we got a lot. It was where the man was only mostly dead. What's the difference? The club for gay autistic nerds at my college would hold a movie night for it every year. That sounds about right. Said CCE standard operating procedure a moment ago. What is that? CCE stands for counter corporate espionage, which is just industry doublespeak for corporate espionage. Only used in self-defense, you understand? So Noble anticipates employees at your level getting poisoned. They give us all kind of CCE training, subtly of course, usually disguised as itinerary as leadership workshops or psychiatric evaluations. They train you to expect to get murdered at these leadership workshops. Murder is fairly rare at our level, more likely they'll want us too sick to work. Let us drain company resources in a hospital bed while our position sits vacant. That's smart. Like snipers purposely avoiding vital areas to strain the enemy's medical resources. That's terrible! Like snipers purposely avoiding vital areas in order to strain the enemy's medical resources. I love her. That's nothing compared to when they want to turn an asset. Feel ill for the rest of your life with an undiagnosable malady, or become our mole and we'll send you the antidote every 2 weeks. That's a nasty piece of work. It's a nasty line of work. Consulting. I'm sorry. That's just what they call it. Can't exactly put corporate spy on your CV. So every consultant I've met at a cocktail party was actually... It depends. Did they say they were consultants? Or did they say they were in consulting? How the hell am I supposed to remember? Okay, so... I actually don't remember which one Thou said. If he said he's a consultant or if he's in consulting. I think he said in consulting, actually. So do your people think what happened to David was a deliberate attack? Noble's competitors have been trying to get to David for years, and that's the time scale their plans operate on. If this was an attack from a rival corporation, the company would have seen it coming. They'd probably have struck first. How about the cups? Let's talk about the cups. Dahl said in consulting. Okay, cool. I thought so. I couldn't quite remember. I've been curious about this ever since I saw the scene. Why the plastic cups? Here's a story there. David and I got hired around the same time under similar circumstances. Headhunted with finishing out higher education. During recruiting, the company claimed to want us badly, but in practice, our actual authority was inexperienced and overpaid. He must have been extremely unpopular. You don't mince words. We didn't either back then. We were loudly trying to convince our superiors that their entire sales model for androids was antiquated and self-defeating. Two of them made the one-point doctrine. That's not the story I've heard in Noble commercials and Noble-sponsored media. Come to think of it, it's not a story I've heard from David himself. We had this deadline, self-imposed, but still a deadline. We wanted to get our pitch to the president of international sales by the end of the day. 7 p.m. rolls around, the people start filtering out. David still has his head buried in diagrams and sales figures. Imagine a technical man like him, a programmer, trying to make a sales pitch. The clock hits 9 o'clock and even the zombies start heading home. I turn to David, tell him it's not going to happen. We're nowhere near finished and the day's long since been over. He looked at me and said, I'm the only other person on a sinking boat and I've stopped pitching water, he says. The president lives on the other side of the globe. We've still got all night until his end of day. We wrapped up at 4 in the morning, just us and the cleaning staff. Back then, only half of them were ads. He finally sends messages, and I'm ready to collapse. I've got nothing. Which one is which? In consulting means that you are actually the espionage person, and I am a consultant is I am actually a consultant, I think is what they were saying. We stared blankly at this inbox for the next 40 minutes, hoping that the harsh light would give us the energy to work through the next day. And we got a response. It wasn't long, but it showed he was interested. I had been turned down so many times before, ignored, placated, passed up, and ghosted. But together, David and I, we'd finally gotten a win. So David asked if I got anything to drink. I've got a bottle of some swill in a cabinet at my desk, but he doesn't want to drink from the bottle. Says he wants to toast. So we sat there at 5:19 in the morning, toasting awful vodka to one another in cups we grabbed from the break room. Toasting our first victory against the corporate beast. That's cute. Between the lack of sleep and the drinking, the next day at work was hell. Sounds like a good memory. Plastic cups and liquor, that was our little ritual. So I didn't think twice when he presented me with my cup. It was ceremony for us. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I will just go down the list in order. As VP of Android Futures, you're David's superior, aren't you? That's correct. Didn't you join the company around the same time? David was always more interested in his work than he was in climbing the ladder. He didn't like playing the corporate politics game. So was he unpopular around here? Not unpopular, no, but the great Dr. David not the great Dr. David Ashard. Misunderstood, perhaps. God, I can't read. How so? He could be blunt, demanding, some might say. He wasn't trying to be, it's just, not everyone would work at the same pace as he did for as long as he did. Even with the whole company huffing those inhalers, they couldn't keep pace with David. I didn't know David was that attractive. We've been over this. Where is he? We've been over this. Bro was walking gender. I hate to say it. I don't know why I hate to say it. I'm just kind of saying it. But we've been over this. Holy shit. Sorry, people gotta be like slamming the door. All right. Even with the whole company oh, I already got that. Speaking of which, I don't see any at Jung's desk. Maybe it's just not something you leave out in the open at her level. So would you say that his work-life balance was... Balance implies the two were at odds with one another. We use work-life harmony here at the company. Fascinating. So was he in harmony? No, David always had plenty of suitors, but he was never willing to put the time in. I'm sure you're more knowledgeable than I am on that subject. Right. What do you mean? I had to help him draft a lot of apology notes over the years for misunderstandings and double bookings. Scandalous. They, them energy. Really? I'm saying, man. Flutters my lashes cutely. The green hair is fun, man. I was saying this recently. Because I like giving characters green hair because I love coloring green hair. Green hair and blue hair. The A16 only entered production this year, correct? Correct. Pre-order started last holiday. We began shipping in first quarter. I understand that you were instrumental in the success of Warm Androids. I played my part supervising the launch, yes. Were you the one who designed Cyanotonin, the factor that enabled communication between synthetic and organic parts? I'm surprised you've heard of that. I did lead that project, yes, but that was years ago. At the time, Cyanotonin was little more than a novelty, a dead end. It wasn't until David took the reins on the A16 that we found a use for it. Took the reins? He was lead programmer on limb coordination, facial expression, exhaustion parameters. And he designed the synthetic nerves that made up all that possible. David did all of that. That's more than just programming. Was he always so gifted in that many fields? Did he fill those roles on the A14 or A15? No. He used to stick steadfast in his role as a software architect. That was his field of expertise, and he didn't wander far. But 2 or 3 years back, he started sitting in other departments taking notes. Soon he was joining the discussion, proposing new ideas, and eventually they came to follow his lead. Just like that. Just like that. Gotcha. So he just applied himself, and soon he was leading other departments. That's the kind of genius that Dr. David Asher was. Maybe they weren't paying him enough. The company profited the most, of course, but the entire industry benefited from his vision and leadership. His loss will be felt for years. Okay. And now we talk about Baby Girl. To quote a friend of mine, Of the Devil Episode 1 is a game about how a man can be a MILF. Yeah, you know what? True. So this android, Sarah, even dolls couldn't find any real details on where it came from. It's not in any of our systems? I'm afraid not. Did David ever talk to you or anyone else at the company about a pet project? Pet? What the hell? Oh, she's so cute, man. Wait, hon, don't I have... Oh, that's her shocked. That's not her pouty. Somebody took that man away from us and they must be punished. If you kill if you killed a non-binary person, are you a serial killer because you killed them and not just one person? Is this thing on? Is this anything? Anyway, I accidentally skipped the thing. He never gave me an indication like that. If he didn't talk to me about it, seriously doubt he confided in anyone else at the company. David didn't trust anyone higher on the chain than himself and anyone below him. Frankly, they couldn't possibly hope to give him advice. He never mentioned me? No, never. Androids don't come cheap. You never heard about him in requisitioning parts or resources? If it's somehow Morgan, again, we have to put her in the meat grinder. It would be boring if it was Morgan again. I don't think it's going to be a thing where Morgan's the one that killed. Because if that was the twist again, that would just be boring. Because that's setting a precedent, right? You have because the opening, that's the twist to kind of get you like what you're dealing with for the main story. Then if she's the killer for this case too, then it's like, okay, so that's going to give the what's the word? I just said the word 2 seconds ago. It's going to set the precedent that every case is just going to end up being Morgan, and you're not going to be interested. Never heard about him. Oh yeah, parts of resources. There were never any discrepancies with his company credit card. The company's accountants are mirthless, even by industry standards. They wouldn't humor anybody, not even David Asher. If they had detected financial discrepancies, there would have been an uproar loud enough you could hear it in the mailroom. You have a mailroom? Not since the 30s. Just a figure of speech. Aww. She was so excited! Couldn't have taken resources from the company without leaving a record. But no one would deny Dr. David Asher's information. He would have been able to obtain all the necessary data to build his own android. Then with enough time and money, he could privately purchase the raw materials himself. I don't understand it. It must have taken him years to build Sarah. He wasn't doing anything illegal, except the hacking stuff. So why keep it a secret? I don't know. But he was private and a perfectionist. Perhaps he simply wasn't proud of his results. Don't say that! Could be. No! Thanks for taking the time to talk with me. I'm sure this has been a difficult day for you. A difficult day for all of us. A message from Fran. I'm running out of leads to chase. The brat better have some good news. Are you really going to take this to court? That's my plan. The circumstances may be irregular, but I'm still defending a client from a criminal charge. It's my responsibility to argue that he's not guilty of what he's been accused of. And is that what you believe? That he didn't commit suicide? I guess I haven't decided what I believe. Also, she was David's close friend and has shown genuine sadness over his death. Yeah, the genuine shock she feels at the start of the chapter is too sincere to the point where it would be cheap of the devs to double back on it. Yeah. Like, I couldn't imagine... Like, I feel like I wouldn't be seeing people glazing the game so much if chapter 1 ended that way. Because I genuinely just think that would be a bad ending to the chapter. And transit. Would you kindly slow the hell down? I'm sorry, Adonai, was I walking too quickly for you? That wasn't walking. That was speed walking. Up 2 flights of stairs. It's very different. Speed walking? Sounds like a powerful technique. Is it like oh god, the Jinzhao? Just let me catch my breath for a minute. Adonai, is it possible that you are out of shape? No. But since we left the cab, your heart rate has... I'm not wearing the right clothes or the right shoes. Is that so? Yes. Also, I didn't stretch or hydrate, and the sun's reaching its zenith. And the world would... that would have been several hours ago. Do you mean the air temperature? You said it would be a short walk from the street level, so I prepared myself mentally for a short walk. Then you took off like a rocket. And you didn't mention we'd have to go upstairs. Are you sure this place is even back here? The reviews online were quite clear. It's worth the trouble finding it. Maybe if you're a mountain climber. When I sent friend hunting for a musician in David's circles, I expected him to bring me to someone from the city orchestra or jazz club, the champagne flute and the teacup kind of musician. This is the tequila and neon part of town. Should be in view if we turn Adonai. Be careful. Of what? It's a stray and it's bearing its fangs too. It could be carrying diseases. You should relax. Adonai, it's growling. It's not growling at me. See? So it's just me that it doesn't like. Too much static. How did you get it to calm down? Evil doggy. It's an animal, not a monster. It wants to be calm. Do you like animals? What kind of cold-blooded freak doesn't like animals? Do you have a pet? Nope, never have. Why not? Because I don't want to take care of a pet. That seems counterintuitive to me. Well, it makes perfect sense to me, and I don't need it to make sense to you. But you notice you're only this talkative when it's just the two of us? Just an observation. You shy or something? Did David program you to have an android anxiety? It's generally only appropriate to respond to comments that are addressed to oneself. Today I've rarely been addressed to directly by people other than you. In other words, you're shy. I hate that I relate to that, actually. Morgan does donate to endangered wildlife. She confuses me. Can I try petting it? There's no law against it. Pet the doggy. She pet the doggy. 4:26 p.m. Ultraviolets. Wow, with an underscore. Wow, how cyber retro epic and cool. And like computers. This is the establishment. Now to see if Isaac Porter is as habitual as friend claims. I think Father was close with this man who you've never met. I think he was close with him, yeah, at some point. I had some help making that deduction. Fran saw that their metadata showed a significant cooling of interaction between the two of them, particularly over the past month. Fran also saw a phone call between them, the two last night. So they were close. Do you think they were sleeping together? That is completely inappropriate for me or anyone to speculate about. Inappropriate? Adonai, it's only... But I'm getting a very important text message from our private investigator. Excuse me. What does she know about? What does she know? Did you catch that killer yet? Hold on, I gotta catch up on chat. I wouldn't talk either if people kept calling me it. Honestly, so true. Sex repulsed Morgan. All I'm saying, Sarah knows what sex is. This is a win for certain people out there. I will not say who exactly. What the hell? I sent you his position. Pause. I'm at his position. I haven't spoken to Porter yet. Anyway, there's no reason to suspect him right now. Lame. Surprised you're invested all of a sudden. Isn't David Asher a corporate sellout in your eyes? Everyone's a corporate sellout, but Asher gets respect. If I'm a demolitions expert, he's like a really good architect. That's almost sweet, I think. Asher started out working in the cube. So in the architect analogy, by today's standards, he's like, I don't know. As a kid, he built all his bricks by hand or something. You know that lit homework can help you with forming analogies. Eat this analogy. Did that come through or did the characters break? It's supposed to be a guy giving you the finger. I take a cube as a programming language. What's special about it? Pretty much anything coded in the last 20 years is web-based. You code with the assumption that you'll always be connected. So you can depend on having fat libraries of references to lean on. I genuinely thought that said fat liberals to lean on. Oh, man. And if something does go wrong, your errors get reported to you automatically. But not Cube. You can look it up. But basically, Cube was originally for robotics and, like, machinery. Stuff that had to operate in mines, under the ocean, middle of nowhere fields with zero signal service. So Cube had to be self-sufficient. How rugged. Where did Asher learn Cube anyway? It's older than dirt, from, like, the 40s. I don't know. I think his father had a machine shop or something. Vague. Okay. Yeah, well, David didn't like to talk about his family, and I never asked. So what did your private investigator have to say out tonight? Not telling. Oh, this person looks like they have cool hair. Lamau? Oh, what? Because I thought it said fat liberals. Oh, man. Dude, well, speaking of, did you see a guy? There were people unironically getting mad about non-binary and Tomodachi life. It was so funny. That one over there, he matches the photo a friend sent me. Should I approach now or look some more? I want to look around more before we talk to someone. I do want to examine everything before we talk to somebody. A bar stock full of colorful selections and busy bartenders. Hope this isn't the kind of club you can order in food. Yeah, I get annoyed because I meant to make a funny tweet about it. That guy who was like, Obama, what have you done over and over? Yeah. But I meant to like post something about it where I'm like, the amount of times I see somebody talk shit on localizers without actually understanding anything that localizers actually do is like so infuriating. But yeah, there was like a reactionary tweet about the thumbnail for the Tomodachi Life Direct between Japanese and English. Because, the English one, Japanese, it's like they were all like the characters, the Miis were made to look Japanese. They all looked like, similar skin tones, hairstyles and fashions you'd see in Japan. And then ours had like, diverse racial representation and stuff. And like, you don't hate localization enough. And I'm like, you literally don't even understand what Tomodachi Life is. Yeah, I don't know, maybe they were hating on Hugh Morris too, I need to get a compilation of people freaking out. All the people I saw were like, we won gays. Yeah, woke is back on the menu. People are blaming the new American president for being a woman, even though she joined the company long after she could have made changes. Also, like, I don't think people understand that, like, the president of Nintendo of America, and also just Nintendo in general, doesn't make the games. In fact, they probably, like, barely actually do anything in terms of the production of the games. Like, at all. Like, I would not be surprised if the president of Japan hasn't even fucking seen Tomodachi Life, man. They're usually more involved in, like, business operations rather than, like, the actual products. Anyway, only time bar food is any good is when you're drunk enough to forget the taste in the gap between chewing and swallowing. So you can, like, eat things. So it's like an eating type character. Yes, I can. What, like Android food? There is no such product. So what do androids eat? All my user guides for Noble Worms models clarify that we don't eat anything in the traditional sense. They get their energy from electrical charging, usually wireless. Whenever they need to eat, it's to replenish specific vitamins and electrolytes. Sounds like a lot of what mod users go through with their sports drinks and energy bars. And charger separation anxiety. According to the net, worm androids can ingest nutrient-rich processed carbohydrate pellets if they need to forego electrical charging long-term. Processed pellets, you mean like kibble? Like dog food? No, it's not like dog food at all. Can you buy from the pet store? It seems that you can. How is this something you have to look up anyway? Because I've always just eaten whatever father gave me. Like what? Marbled beef? Never hydroponic avocados, foie gras, that sort of thing. I'm not paying for any of that. Reggie is the reason Wii Sports came with every Wii. I mean, okay, but Reggie was different. Come on now. Come on now. I will say, I think one of the funniest things about the like reactionary crowd getting mad that the Nintendo of America president is a woman is like they pretended that Doug Bowser did fucking anything as the president of Nintendo, as if like we didn't constantly forget that he even was there. Which, by the way, he was like ex-EA, and like some of the decisions he did make, you're like, yeah, you sure did come from EA. So I'm like, I'm gonna be real. I feel like he was a pretty low bar, and I don't know. It's weird that it's like Doug Bowser was fine, but then a woman, that's when things are getting bad. I'm like, did you see Doug Bowser, man? Like, it was a joke when he got, like, when he was, became the president of Nintendo of America, where it's like, is he just president because his last name is Bowser? And then you saw him actually as the president, and you're like, oh my god, maybe they actually did hire him because his last name is Bowser. Holy shit. Didn't, the Twitter start posting with Join Whimsy, like, the day after he left? Genuinely, I think so. I don't know if that continued, but I remember seeing them kind of like get a little more fun again. Stage for the talent, pretty close to the floor. Like, I'm sure it's probably just coincidence, if anything, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it fits with the whole roundtable aspect of the place. Everyone on more or less equal footing, dancing in the dark once you get past the bouncer. Do you think they might have met here, David and Porter? Can't see David walking in here because he found the walk so challenging, because it's too loud to relax. And not dark enough to be anonymous. I see. What's that face? You got an opinion to share? The atmosphere is not bad here, but the music isn't quite. I'll find you a survey to fill out before we leave. What kind of music does an android even like? Early 21st century punk. Can I marry her? Like, can she be real so I can marry her? Please? Is that just you, or does that go for all androids? I haven't met all androids, so I can't speak for them. Wonder what they'd say. If they're smart, they'd say music peaked with early 21st century punk rock. I'm taking a screenshot of this. You're telling me she is the greenest person ever and she fucks with American Idiot? That's crazy. Debate settled. All right, so that's the fella we... Oh, wait, huh? Oh, shit, I can't interact with that person anymore. Eh? Really? Oh, shit, did I fuck up? Well... No wonder Sarah likes Green Day. Wait, so true. Well, that's unfortunate. There we go. What kind of reading material gets left out in a club? A tabloid interview? All right. Listen. Yellow text. Exclusive sit down with Luxury. You've heard her name on everyone's lips. You've seen her face in magazines and commercials, and then double check to make sure the photos weren't labeled as edited. Now get all your burning questions about her answered here in our exclusive interview with the mysterious young woman who's being called, and perhaps the only truly unanimous vote that's ever seen, the most beautiful woman in the world. Why the name? Why the name? People think it's an ego thing, but it was just a random username I picked back when I was grassroots. Then it was a pseudonym to give a little shade from all the attention. Now it's a brand, and I can't change it without setting the stock market into a spin. So, Luxury, got it. You're certainly influential. After partnering with you, Inti saw a 3,000% increase in share price. Yay, I'm happy for them, of course, but to be honest, it's a pain at times like this. When the shares go up. Oh, I see. She gestures towards her clothes, a plain white t-shirt and gym shorts with no branding visible. On anyone else, it might seem sloppy or even unflattering. On her, it only makes her natural beauty stand out that much more. Who are you wearing, by the way? Who are you wearing? Can't wear anyone else. I can't wear anyone unless I'm attending something. If I don't dress like this, all my sponsors fall into bidding wars every time I leave the house. Does it stress you, all that attention? Stress is bad for your skin, right? They say mine's flawless. Inti, please. Can't argue with that. So, do you have a skincare routine or any tips you like to share? Be a little bratty, act a little spoiled, keeps you young. How old are you exactly? Everyone's dying to know. 18 to 29, now and forever. Okay. Don't get stuck on a cliffhanger like that. Hurry. Log in below so you can read the rest quickly. Time is running out. However old she is or isn't, Luxury's got one hell of a mind for business. Might do her some good on that face in the end. Maybe. It's one hell of a face. In the meantime, she's powerful. Sunrises are too meteoric for even the Megs to grab the reins on. At this point, Luxury's got them at her mercy. She can send their stocks into disarray with one selfie. Good for her. There we go. All right, now we can talk to this fella. Oh yeah, that's him. All right. All right. Okay. One second. Let's just. Yeah, no, this person was definitely pulling his hair and calling him good boy while giving him devious back shots from behind. All right, got it. Looks like he's killing time before he sets tonight. Are you unsure how to proceed, Adonai? I'm sure you need to hang back. As for me, I'll play it straight. Isaac Porter, what's up? My name is Morgan. I was David's friend. Right now I'm his lawyer. Can we talk? Depends. Were you a friend from work? No. Over here. I mean, yeah, but what? I mean, I'm just, listen. Like, look at them, right? Like, look at him. Right? You know what? Porter. All right. September 18th, 183 centimeters. How tall is David? 180. Okay, 180, 183. Taller. Okay, we're working on something here. I already forgot his Porter. Am I fucking blind? Okay. Porter. A bassist. Okay, like bassist screams top. Okay. Bassist screams top. Okay. Can really work your fingers. Dislikes resistance training, producers, ads. Oh, now don't be mean to my. You better not. Yeah, no. Like he was like. All I'm saying is like. David left a hole in Morgan's heart. Porter left a hem-shaped hole in David's booty hole. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, thanks, Isaac. Don't thank me yet. I might just sit here, shut my mouth, and stick you with my tab. So what kind of lawyer are you? What kind of friend? I'm his defense attorney. Think you missed the bus on that then, yeah? I'm a friend that needs to know what happened yesterday. Doesn't everyone? Try somewhere else, friendly lawyer. Haven't seen him in weeks. Might not have seen him, but we know you both spoke. We both know that you spoke with him over the phone yesterday. Only a short time before he died. How the hell? Isaac, it's pretty obvious that you don't want his particular spotlight to linger on you longer than necessary, so why don't we cut to the chase? No lies, no playing coy. Fine. Sarah? Yes, Adonai? The hell? Is that thing transmitting? I'm not streaming any data, no. Porter doesn't seem to recognize Sarah either. One more person David was keeping secrets from. I need to record everything for the court. Fine. You two were together, is that correct? We were together. I ended it. Yesterday. Wait. Oh, wait, like together. Oh, you were together. Got it. Care to elaborate? On our entire relationship? Look, you can tell me everything once and I can get it on the record. Or you can hear the same questions over and over again from 1,000 different cops and Megs for the next 3 months. We met in a bar. I'd see him come in a few times, each time with someone else. Each time talking with his mouth, but not looking with his eyes. It ticked me off. Scribbling on napkins, let in a single gin and tonic, sweat into the table for 2 hours. His dates would all go to the bathroom or take a call and slip out the back. One of them didn't even make it 10 minutes. And he'd still sit there the rest of the night unfazed. Couldn't tell if he was obvious or stupid or shameless or the most confident man in the world. I've seen multiple people play him as British. I am already get too tired reading all the voices as it is, and you think I'd make them British? You think I do? You think I would commit to an accent? And it ticked me off. Well, not things were slow and Moss had been cancelled in his day. I didn't even bother to think of an excuse before bailing, so I asked him why. I'm not doing that. I'm joking. I'm not actually doing that. I asked him why he insisted on coming here night after night. Just to ignore vapid people like he wasn't interested in a shitty bar with drinks he didn't like. And he said he just said because I like your music. Man, did that tick me off. It was cute early on, him being so passionate about work I could barely pretend to understand. I liked that when we gave each other space, you know? Felt like we were being mature or whatever. Until... there was no until. No one day where everything turned sour, but at some point, I started to understand where his priorities were, and how I ranked in them. Like I said, he was passionate about his work. I just wrongly assumed that he would also be that passionate about me at some point. So I pulled away a little, wanted to see if he'd notice, if he'd miss me. Testing him like that isn't the biggest red flag in the world. He never budged, couldn't ignore him for days, and he wouldn't be the least bit ashamed to see me. If I picked a fight, he'd never get angry or upset, he'd just apologize. Didn't want to fight with me, because he was never invested enough to bother. It was my mistake. I watched him sit there all those nights not giving a shit when people walked away, and still, I had the stupid idea that somehow, for whatever reason, I would be different, that I'd be special. But I wasn't, so I ended it. Last night, called him, didn't expect him to pick up. Had everything prepared to leave a message with an assistant or ad or whatever, but he answered first ring, without hesitation, shame, or awkwardness. And that ticked me off, so I told him exactly how valued he had made me feel the past few months. Told him exactly how insignificant I felt as a boyfriend of the illustrious Dr. David Asher. And what did he say? He apologized, and then he asked me if that was all I called to tell him. Oof. Hung up after that. Spent the rest of the night wrapped in a warm disdain for him and his coldness. He made that easy for me. Went to sleep hurt but clean, ready for something new. And then this morning I wake up to see that my ex killed himself not 2 hours after he let me walk out of his life without so much as a don't. What the hell, man? The hell, David? And now you're just the tip of the iceberg of lawyers and reporters and buzzards. Parasites who want to hear about the man who sent David Asher over the edge. Never wanted to be his last lifeline or the straw that broke his back. I just wanted to be his goddamn boyfriend. Turns out that I was asking for too much. Yeah, David, man, he fumbled, man. When you fail the speech, when you fail the charisma check so bad, you kill yourself. Okay, let's move on. I can't make jokes like this. It's yet to be determined whether David committed suicide. You serious? You don't have all the facts. And you do? Any of them point to anything else? Thought so. Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to it. That's it? No summons? The court has no need for you to retell a sad story like that. The court, huh? Sorry to bother you at work. Sarah, let's go. Your discography is very impressive. Yeah, thanks. And your range is remarkable. So it pained me to see that all your works the last quarter has been so melancholy. I think. The hell would you know of any of that? What's the matter? Can't find the words? Need to steal them from somewhere first? Butcher them before shitting them back out? I was not trained on any data sets that... Nah, pardon me. My mistake, really. Not your fault you're only standing here because rich prick nerds were allowed to rob the world blind for most of the century. Sarah, we're leaving. Okay. Meanie. Don't be mean to my freaking... My baby. You know what? David, good on you for killing yourself. Really stick it to this guy. Let it haunt him until he dies. How dare he speak to Sarah that way? You can't keep saying shit like that. I know you can't. You gotta chill. You gotta chill with it. Okay? Sorry, I was talking to myself for a second. He was under the false impression that I was programmed using a massive automated learning model in early 21st century. Not that. Why'd you talk to him? I just felt I should say something to him. She was literally trying to talk and he cut her off. Can't find the words to say. Men, am I right? A word of advice. People don't want comfort from strangers, especially when they're androids. They want it from the people they want it from. Coming from anywhere else, it's just corn syrup on a parched tongue. Doesn't matter how sweet it is, they'll just start gagging. You know a lot about people, don't you, Adonai? Compared to you, I'm a goddamn savant. Come on, there's not much time left. There's still somewhere you want to investigate. Somewhere I need to return to, actually. Porter was right. As things stand, I don't have any evidence that could establish an alternative interpretation of the facts. I get it, Porter. You have the right to be upset, but don't talk like that to my daughter. She's literally the greenest person ever. Like, she's green. Why are you mean to her? But if there did exist any hard evidence that could prove his death wasn't a suicide, there's only one place I could find it at this point. Is it the safe with the 24 bajillion codes? Hold on. There's something on my nail. There's like a little part of my nail chipping off and it's bugging me. Saw the green and got a flashbacks of David. Damn, she's green with it. Noble employee, housing, building, oh goddamn it. Platea. You're green with it. Penthouse basement. The basement. You sure you don't want another look at the crime scene? I'm all out of time. Gotta approach this from another angle. The other angle? You know, inclusive versus deductive, flip the chessboard and all that. Have you ever read a mystery novel? I've seen mystery films. Let's see if you've paid any attention then. What killed David Asher? Poison. 10 points. There's a point system? Now, how did that poison get into his bloodstream? He must have ingested it orally. And how do we know that? The medical examiner found no injection marks or wounds. And if he had inhaled it, why leave the whys to someone who actually understands them? I won't be able to understand anything if I don't practice. Practice by answering my question. I suppose it's possible, but highly unlikely. We would have found a delivery system for it in the building, like an inhaler. Hear me out. Placenta. Oh, true. Hear me out. Episode 5, right? There's gonna be 5 episodes, right? Am I right on that? Hear me out is Sarah's going to learn how to be like a detective based on her working alongside Morgan. In episode 5, it's going to be Sarah solving the serial killings done by Morgan. Could you imagine? Holy. But highly unlikely. We would have found a delivery system for it in the building, like an inhaler. And then Sarah gets a happy ending. Is she fucking better? Right, an airborne poison is either shoved in your face or sprayed over a wide area. No one around David has shown any kind of symptoms. So all we're left with is oral intake, eliminating the impossible. What's next, Abanai? Jim's corroborated statement was that David didn't exhibit any irregular symptoms or behavior until he started drinking that night. And the police didn't find anything unusual in any of the food or drink in his home. Except for his cup, the results were inconclusive. Jen was drinking from the same bottle and the same type of cup, but didn't get sick. We have to conclude then that David's cup alone was poisoned. That all seems logical and consistent with the police's theory of suicide, so why are we down here? Minus 10 points. Back to 0? David left the parlor and came back with whiskey and 2 cups. Jung told us as much, and apparently the cameras upstairs support her story. So we have to conclude then that he got them both from this bar. Better, 5 points. Did he also get the poison from the cabinet? The police have been here since we left. According to the ARC's files, they didn't find anything that matches the poison down here. So the poison somehow went straight into his drinking cup then. I need to flip this around again. But if you turn something 360 degrees, you're just back to... If we were the prosecution, what would I want more than anything? Proof that David knowingly added the poison himself. He wouldn't do that. And you can make that claim because there's no video evidence to contradict you. How long was David off camera? From 7:36 p.m. to 7:40 p.m. when he left the parlor to get liquor from his bar. So if he had David on camera for those 4 minutes and he didn't poison himself in that time, he would have a perfect alibi for the crime, proving his innocence. But Adonai, we don't have footage of that. There are no security cameras down here. I think there are. What the H? What do you mean? The whole building's coded head to toe in Penumbra security systems, courtesy of Noble. Every console, every corner, every Android, and every floor, it's all plugged into Penumbra. Except that. That panel. It's manufactured by the Cotter security system. Why would David put a console for a different security system in exactly one corner of his penthouse? I've never given it much thought. But it's been bothering me all day, but my curiosity alone can't scale a 64-digit wall. You mean signal hijacking or whatever you want to call it. Have you tried it before? It is illegal and unnecessary. Father would not. He would not have installed hidden cameras in his own home. At the end of the day, I can make you do anything. Well, actually, I probably can now that you're registered to me. But aren't you the one who wanted to prove his innocence? Eliminate the impossible. I will need to need your express verbal command. Not like David can press charges against us at this point. Do it. Do it. Do you really need me to say that? For the purpose of record keeping, yes. I've gotten past the 64-digit code, and I have found cameras. There are a number of them embedded in this room's walls and ceilings. As you theorize, they are on a separate network from the rest of the building. Where are they feeding to if not Penumbra's system? Behind my hibernation unit. A false wall in the back of a safe. I don't understand. Why would Father possibly have a hidden system of cameras inside his own home? Beats me. He was brilliant and more than a little odd. Throw in a little money and odd becomes eccentric. I see. I think. I don't. The hell was he thinking? What was he afraid of? Why didn't he come to me for... Time short. Gather facts now and leave the computation for later. Alright, I just want to look around a little bit. Okay. We'll look at all this stuff again, just see if we get anything new. What did David even do with all this equipment? Dry his laundry? What makes you so sure he wasn't exercising? Did you ever see him use any of this crap? No, but you must have used the weights when I wasn't looking, since he promised that he'd take better care of his health. Sarah, these weights are all maxed out. David couldn't have put numbers like this even if he was piloting a frame. Don't be so sure, Adonai. Pardon? The following is a true story based on primary sources who were present in the event of its aftermath. Copenhagen, 1981, 8:10 a.m. local time. A towering man with the musculature of a world-class professional rugby player enters the Global Danske Bank on Frederiksberg Lane. He explains to the bank teller that he has a bomb in his suitcase and that he wants his gym bag filled with unmarked bills. A security guard approaches him from behind with a nightstick and swings, but the man simply catches the weapon and bends it into a twisted knot with his massive dinner plate-sized hands. When asked to describe the suspect to the police afterwards, the teller had only this to say: "That man was all muscle." The rest of the bank heist proceeds without incident, and the man exits the building just as police arrive on the scene when suddenly his suitcase explodes. But it's just a smokescreen. Local officers quickly recognize the ploy and rush toward the door, grabbing each of the hostages as they flee while desperately searching for the perpetrator. What they then find instead is a diminutive, frail, sheepish young man, barely 160 centimeters tall, holding a gym bag full of money with no recollection of how he got there. Renowned psychologist, a trained hypnotist, Dr. Werner Kurtzer wrote the following in his diagnosis: acute dissociative identity disorder. That's right, the man had a split personality, and so great was the disparity between his two halves that when they switched control, he physically changed, becoming taller, bulkier, and capable of previously unthinkable feats of strength. So be careful what you say of a man like Father Can't Do, because of how he looks on the outside. Sarah, every single word you've just said is false. Huh? Don't believe everything you read on the net. Aw, she's so sad. Sarah, that's not how that works. It literally is. My source, I made it up. So is that the original? It was appraised and confirmed to be genuine. At least it didn't get ripped off. I'm a Philistine when it comes to this kind of stuff. What does an android see? I see a meeting, or perhaps an encounter. Two apex forces of nature, two kings of the forest, the stag and the tiger. Two planets reaching the Rorsch limit. I think. Great. I'm officially less cultured than the robot. Good. She's literally so freaking smart. I can confirm that's how it works for us. I'm saying, bro. Hey, Sarah, it says gullible on the ceiling. Don't! You'll trick her. The liquor cabinet this mystery hinges on. The police have been through it all by now. They didn't find foreign content in any of those spirits. No poison can be found here. Well, not that kind of poison anyway. In which case, can I make you anything? Well, if you're offering, I'll have. Sorry, you're way underage, aren't you? 2 years old or whatever? Technically. Took that a lot worse than I expected. Sure, maybe you'll find a mocktail if you climb to the top of a ladder. Okay, but like, robot age is different, right? I always wondered how that works. What's the ethics of that? That's something that is like, has always like crossed my mind. The logistics of like age and robots. Like, you know, you have to be 21 to drink as an adult, but if you're a robot, you don't have the health consequences. So is it like, what else is keeping the law from that? Is it like a maturity thing? Okay, but like, if their mind is already, if the mind is already like designed in a state where it's mature, then where do we go next from that? I don't know. But yeah, that was something I always found interesting. This is a rolling ladder, a kind of step ladder. This is a rolling ladder, a kind of step ladder, not a ladder. What? Remember, a ladder extends, but a step ladder folds out. And it's important to know the distinction. I bet my life savings that this subject will never come up again, ever. Okay. Obligatory step ladder joke. I don't understand. What? You know I missed something? Feel depends on the specific androids, lore, and how they were built. Oh, for sure, for sure. Like if she's not infantilized, I would say it's fine. That's kind of how I view it, for sure. Can we not with a step ladder? What are we talking about? Am I lost? Is it something over my head that like everybody gets but not me? Here's a good step ladder joke. All right. It's oh, that's not my biological ladder. That's my step ladder. I thought I had a laugh track on this thing. The closest thing is oh, probably
WarioWare, show up your own ass game.
Yeah, that's probably the closest I got. Ace Attorney. Oh, it's an Ace Attorney thing. Gotcha. I gotta play Ace Attorney. I'd like to actually finally sit down and play the Ace Attorney games once we finish, like catch up with Of the Devil. What's the story with this anyway? Some kind of fault in the foundation? I don't know. I never noticed that crack before. I want to get those eyes checked. There's nothing wrong with my vision. This crack just must have been created during my most recent hibernation. How? Did David drop a weight a bunch of times over and over in the same spot? All right, let's refocus here. There's some kind of hidden door behind your bunk bed, huh? Essentially. Though a bunk bed would imply a second or third. How do we open it? One moment. I see. Got it open? I cannot open this door. Why? It's a Tethys Basics Sturdicure. That anti-hack feature in the name is real. Excuse me. Oh my god. Jesus. You love Maya Fey. I have an insane crush on Maya Fey already. I've played Ace Attorney, by the way. I should say, I got to the very end of case 3 in the first game. I got to the last day because there's like a twist where you end up going an extra day in that case. That or it's day 2 because the whole thing is you have to solve a case in 3 days. Day 2, you think you're about to solve it, and then it ends up going to day 3. And I forget. But yeah, and Maya Fey, I love her so much. But I ended up dropping the game. I forget why. No, because that was way before. I think I was playing it and then... Oh, I remember why. I think I started playing it right before I started college. And then I started college. But yeah, I liked it though. Just before the best case in the game. Damn. But yeah, we'll see. But the case that I was in was cool though. I just never finished it because I ended up getting busy. I think it was because of whatchamacallit. I think it was because I started college. Hold on, it's fucked up how they put maybe the worst case in the series right before the best. Oh no, y'all are making me scared. The first game's pacing is pretty bad. It's the only game with the 3-day cases. Really? Okay. I don't know a lot about the series. All I know is what I played. It's a closed system, Adonai. What am I supposed to do now? Strange. There was an if-then toggle enabled in the security parameters. I don't follow. When Father last adjusted the settings here, he made it so the door would never open so long as I was hibernating. He made it so I was the only one who could wake her up. I mean, this is a door that only I can open. It'll be a 6-character password, some combination of numbers or letters. Do you and Father have any influential moments in your life that would have revolved around a 6-letter word? 676767. Nothing comes to mind. Is there a code that he knew only I would learn? Oh god, we're doing this shit again. Okay. Can I open? Okay. I can't open anything. It won't let me open my phone. Okay. Oh, why is it? No dice. Could it be your birthday or his? If David said the password is something as dumb as that, I'd never forgive him. As you say, Adonai. I would have picked a code whose significance was only obvious after the fact. Don't. Let me look at my phone while this fucking thing is open, please. This is actually, like, really annoying. What about Sarah's birthday? I mean, I would like to check my phone. There we go. Jesus Christ. All right. There we go. August 29th. But what would the year be? Le Fabian, welcome in. How long will it take, Yooree? Well, now it's going to take longer because you're fucking stressing me out. Oh, Jesus Christ. But it says, okay, but she's 2, remember? But I forgot what year it is. It's 2081? $2086, okay. So like 0829 884. Wait, we're also August buddies. Wait, what the hell? All right, so do you know the answer, Adonai? I'm getting there. All right, we'll try 082984. Nope. Don't get discouraged, Adonai. I'm not. I can feel it on the tip of my tongue. Really, Adonai. Or the back of my mind. Don't give up, Adonai. All right. Morgan, right? Let's cross-reference some things here. A 6-letter word only Morgan would know after waking up Sarah. Mother? What if it's Adonai? It might be, actually. Try Adonai. I'll try it in a second. I do want to at least look at some stuff. David? David? Fuck it. Yeah, well, we'll just try Adonai. We'll try Adonai. Don't give up, Adonai. I thought some quiet might help is all. Wow! It is Adonai. She was saying Adonai over and over, so... Well, you could have let me try and figure that out. It's opening. What was that? What was the password, Adonai? You'd never guess. Grr. I did feel a bit out of character, David, utilizing so much cloak and dagger tech. And I've definitely been struggling with the idea of him doing home improvement. But one step in here and all makes sense. It's a panic room. Scary. Panic room is a place for rich people to hide when people start bouncing bricks off their windows. They're typically not even on the blueprints. So when Noble built his penthouse for one of their executives, someone slipped this into the mix and has remained in Noble's blind spot ever since. Why does she call her Adonai again? I don't remember. All I remember is that it's Hebrew. L'chaim and all that shit. Alright, did that. All David had to do was repurpose it. Make sure you're capturing all of this. I don't want to miss my one chance because of a discovery technicality. I understand, but you need to specify. My memory is flawless. I can play back visual sound sensations. I can even give detailed reports of air particulates. You mean you can smell? Better than any human, and some canines. So does it smell stale in here to you? Stale? Doesn't to me. Almost like someone's been in here recently. Almost like someone visits here frequently. All right, let's try booting up this computer. Hebrew for master means my lord roughly. Gotcha. I kind of have to pee. I don't want to go to the bathroom. You don't think the console is password protected? 2 physical doors, a 64-digit code, a half-ton Android, and a secret phase. David set a password on his PC after all that. I'm going to back to the morgue and have a word with him. It's already signed in. Well, her eyes are so bright. You're looking for camera footage. I'd also settle for a note plainly stating that he feared for his life. What am I doing? Here, you search for video files. They'll probably be timestamped and formatted for short-range devices. I have the subfolder. The cameras stream live data constantly, but the files are clipped at fairly regular intervals. Once every week, it seems. The most recent video file here is footage going back 8 days. It was accessed yesterday at around 4 p.m. You were asleep then, so the only person who could get in here at the time is David himself. All right, let's see it then. Of course, it's just that I'm having difficulty. Try double-clicking. I've been trying to open the files from the moment I've discovered them, Adonai, but they are encrypted. Damn it, David, you leave me enough clues to get this far, but you won't let me use your computer? Grr, grr. Camera footage of David holding up evidence that Morgan is the heartbreak killer. Footage of David looking up into the camera, raising and lowering his hands and going 6-7. It's the brain on the encryption program. If I rush a subpoena, they might have a back door I could bluff them into. These files were not encrypted with any commercially available tool. This appears to be Father's own work. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. David Asher had wrote the encryption on these files. There's no one alive who could. Hey, was DOS just flattering you back there? Or is your processing power really that special? Adonai, can you break this encryption, yes or no? With enough time. And how much time would that be? I would estimate it about 2 to 6 hours. That's a 4-hour window! What the hell? No matter how sophisticated, encryption is still just a code that must be deciphered. And when deciphering any code, progress proceeds exponentially, which makes it particularly difficult to determine the amount of time required to complete the process. 2 to 6 hours. 6 to 7 hours. I don't have any better options. Get started. I started 4 minutes and 23 seconds ago. Finally showing some initiative. You've been talking to me this whole time. I have the ability to analyze data in parallel with my utilizing subconscious processes, so long as the work required is rote. So you're doing it in the back of your head? Actually, I'm speaking to you in the back of my head. I could give the decryption process my full undivided attention, but I'd become non-responsive. Oh, that's a pretty nifty feat. No, don't do that. All right, can you take the show on the road? Can you take the show on the road, or do we have to rip this computer out of the wall and find a battery? I have copied the encrypted files and we'll work on them as we travel. We can leave whenever you're ready. Still can't believe David let me get this far just to shut the door in my face at the last second. But he did let me get this far, and the computer's not the only thing in here. The cabinets are a lot less eye-catching than this computer, but knowing David, that's all the more reason to check. Lots of paperwork, bonds and holdings, a platinum bar. His birth certificate might be nearly as valuable. I can't imagine what people would pay to steal David Asher's identity. Down here at the bottom, a binder. Noble's logo on the front and the middle, enough pages to dwarf one of those phone books you see in period pieces. They're masking it in legalese even on the table of contents, but basically, this is his employment contract. Hold on to this for me. Must be very important if you're giving it to me. It's certainly very heavy. Was there anything else in there? Expecting an updated copy of his will to show up? It is a possibility, isn't it? Maybe in a corny old murder mystery. A widely beloved and respected genre with over 2 centuries of... Oh, there is something else. Your papers. Evangeline Morgan be given immediate and complete ownership of the android designated Sarah. Is dated to a few weeks back. Had he already made up his mind about this? About all this? If he had, why did he hide this where no one else could find it? Was that just a backup plan? At least we got something a bit more concrete than Starling's word now. Her word should be plenty, shouldn't it? Not if people realize how precious you are. Ugh. Why? She was so happy for a second. You're so mean. We've yet to meet one person who knows what the hell you are. But Noble could have easily argued that you fall under the private technology or physical holdings, unless I had something like this. It's good that you do that. I'm glad that father wanted me to go with a friend of his. Yeah, this will give me a huge tax write-off when I donate you to a for-profit college. You could at least pick a charitable institution. It's just an old saying. All colleges have been for-profit since the 60s. I'm only the 60s? Anyway, sorry, I was drinking some water. That doesn't make me feel any better. You can cheer up in the car. Hail us a ride to the courthouse. Courthouse priority. There's an upcharge at this hour for priority transportation. That's irritating, but I'd like to have more than just a few minutes to prepare once we get there. The upcharge is a markiplier of 5.7. I'll prepare on the way over. Very good, Adonai. Courthouse. All right, 5:48 p.m., July 1st. Does it excite you going into the courtrooms? What do you mean? You don't feel the tension in the air as the audience murmurs amongst themselves? You don't feel a fiery sense of justice rising in your gut as the prosecution smirks at your ragtag assembly of witnesses? Do you really think this is going to be like some kind of movie where the good guys save the day? Probably not. That'd be nice if it were. What's your deal anyway? Did David train you off a movie marathon from hell or something? We did watch films together if that's what you're asking, though he was rarely the one who suggested it. So you were the aggressor. What's an android get out of watching a flick anyway? What do I get? Why do you do it? What's your reason? I'm not sure how to answer your question. Never mind. Forget what I was talking to. Or forgot what I was talking to. You're so mean. I like the performances. Sure, there you go. Got a crush on Humphrey Bogart or something? He's a handsome man, but it's not the actors I like so much as their performance. The truth is, besides father, I have very little experience when it comes to people. I hadn't noticed. I read the net and I watch people and what they share of their lives. But it's also subtle, so hard to follow. Yeah, let her live. Stop being mean to her. There's so many unspoken rules that can't be taught, only learned. And I often struggle to grasp them. Whoa. Oh, Marie. You're all so complex, so detailed. But the characters on screen are exaggerated, larger than life. The actors enunciate, their body language is precise and meaningful. Their faces are bright and softly lit, and their eyes are... It's fiction, so these characters and their stories, they have a beginning, a middle, and end. And the people on screen don't ask anything of you except your attention. You can't disappoint them or make them feel awkward. You can just watch and learn. God, there's a video that me and Sora keep quoting where it's like the worst she can say is no. And but it's just like someone being like, the worst she can say is no. No. Actually, the worst she can say is the N-word. Unless she's black, then she's allowed to. And if that's the case, I'm gonna shut my ass up, listen, and learn. And then he throws up the like black power fist. And I'm just like, I can't stop quoting that fucking video. I'm gonna shut my ass up, listen, and learn. It's so good. I don't know who that person is, but they're my hero. But what about you, Adonai? What about me? Do you like movies? Yeah, sure, back when I was a kid. Really, who was your favorite director? What was your favorite film? It was a long time ago. I don't remember. I4Gore. Please tell me one of you has a link to that video. I could definitely find it. State building. Floor 48. All right. Let me see. I'm sure we have it pretty recently in our DMs. Give me a sec. We'll watch this video, and then I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. Well, actually, it might be a long bathroom break, but I'm going to take a bathroom break before we continue, because I think we're about to get into a big information section. So we're going to meet the judge. Okay, everybody's freaking out the judge, and that's making me scared. If I'm not attracted to the judge, I'm going to be very upset with all of you. Okay, I found it. All right. We'll watch this and then we'll take a bathroom break. Where is it? Okay.
Oh, the worst thing she can say is no. No. The worst thing she can say is the N-word. Unless she's a black woman. Then she can say whatever she wants to me. And I will sit down and I will listen and learn.
It's so good, man. It's so good. Anyway, yeah. Let me actually before I'm skipping the stuff in the game. I was trying to save the game. All right. Sorry, I gotta save the game. Give me a second. I'm gonna use the bathroom. It'll probably take a couple of minutes. I want to shit. I'll just say I gotta take a shit. Anyway, so I'll be back in like 5 to 10 minutes. Hopefully not too long. And then when we get back, we're going to be going into the freaking courthouse. So, feel free to get up, get a snack or something. Yeah, I'll be back in a moment. I would never swap out an image of my wife on the startup screen. Thank you very much. If anything, I will replace Rick with Sarah. I think Rick is the next one to go. If I'm being honest. Anyway, hello, I'm back. God, my freaking headphones are doing that thing where it like keeps rubbing against the zipper of my hoodie and it's bothering me. Ooh, anyway, I have returned. Yeah, I know. It's messed up of me to get rid of Rick, but you know, he's just how it is. I did remember another video that I want to show, and then we'll get back to the game, but this is another good one. All right, this one's good. Hold up.
Where are you going with that?
I'm gonna get some weed. Hey, what? Get another beer?
Oh,
What?
no.
No, oh, no, I was kidding. No, I'm gonna buy a sandwich and soup, and that's what I'll do. No, I will, because I gotta eat.
The way, like, the code switching here is insane.
Beer?
Oh, no.
It's like gradual too. It's like actual, like it slowly transforms to like, you know, gruff, but like peppy older black man to like gay flamboyant college boy.
Where you going with that?
I'm gonna get some weed. Hey, what? Get another beer?
Oh,
What?
no.
No, oh, no, I was kidding. No, I'm gonna buy a sandwich and soup, and that's what I'll do. No, I will, because I gotta eat.
Oh my god. To the tune of Hawk to a Rick Sarah. There's something there. Maybe there's something there. That's what I'll do, because I gotta eat. Anyway, here we are. I've always felt courthouse is a bit of a misnomer. Government building is probably the best way to describe these towers. All-encompassing and impenetrably vague. 100 floors of officials and documents and paper-pushing queues, with a couple dozen courtrooms squeezed in along the way. Didn't think I'd be arguing in court when I woke up today. Didn't think that my friend would be dead or that he'd have thrust an android onto my lap either. I wish he would have. Anyway, I could just walk in there and concede. Emma would be irritated and more than a little confused, but I could play it off as an exercise in grief. By the way, do we have any, and I know some of y'all have already played this, so no spoilers. Do, anybody who hasn't seen this before, do we have any theories? My current theory, if we have met the killer already, it's him. I feel like it makes the most sense. Very subtly, they prove that he, you know, has some sort of work in the sort of avoiding political / corporate assassination, you know, job line. So he would have a lot of the information in order to be able to pull something like this off. But also he had a lot of disdain for the way he spoke about how androids were used, which I could see him maybe taking it out on, you know, the head honcho of it all. So that is my current theory. If we have met the killer who actually killed David, I think it's him. That's my current guess. Got off work early enough to catch the Yooree and Sarah stream in the Morgan show. Well, welcome in. I hope work was not too stinky. The android would complain loudly, of course, but I wouldn't have to listen to it. Now that it's registered in my name, I could probably just order the damn thing to reset its memory. No! But I haven't done that. I guess I don't plan to. Why? That's because I have my suspicions as well. Sarah insists that David would never commit suicide. I haven't actually stopped to ask myself whether or not I agree. David was rational, subdued, private, hard on himself, and not prone to emotional outbursts. So maybe that's why I'm finding myself outside a courtroom prepared to humor and add suspicions before the state. Because I don't really believe David killed himself either. What's your progress bar at? I can confirm that I am making progress. Well, shit, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It'd be difficult to summarize that progress in terms of a completion percent. Give it your best shot anyway. 4%. Are you feeling confident in your case? Markedly less so after hearing that. Do you think the judge will be amenable to your argument? What are you talking about? Do you know the judge we've been assigned? Are they particularly lenient or strict? Adjudants are always on a coin flip, so you do know what an I don't know how to pronounce that. Adjudant is, don't you? Are you expecting to see a bearded old man with a robe and gavel when we get in there? Should I not? Yes, let's actually read that. They're android judges. Oh, what the hell? Oh, I didn't know that. Like, automatically pops up a thing. Adjutant. Okay, so the thing, it's more so like, what's the stressed syllable? Is it adjutant? Is it adjutant? Is it adjutant? Automated dependents that preside over trials for the state. Well, most adjutants are designed and sold as software and loaded onto courthouse specific thing. It's adjutant. Okay, cool. What was that? Sold it as software and then loaded onto courthouse specific hardware, including Android bodies. They can interpret trial proceedings and render judgment based entirely on stenographer records, if need be, ruling on classes in an entirely digital capacity. Reviews of adjutants by third parties has shown that they are overwhelmingly more equitable and even-handed in their sentencing than human judges. Because they cannot be bribed or intimidated, adjutants are especially preferred for cases involving organized crime or corporate misconduct. Wait, there's yellow text in here too? Adjutants use a ninefold personality engram for rendering their judgments and building consensus, known as nonary games among software engineers. Because each of these 9 personas are constructed by a different think tank or institution from across the political spectrum, ideological contamination and adjutant units is practically impossible. There's been a small number of reported cases where nonary processes have borne particularly enthusiastic or eccentric personas, presumably in an unorthodox, if not effective, attempt to reconcile particularly disparate opinions across their 9 constituent personalities with a single authoritative, loud voice. With the state's court backlog essentially cleared for the rest of the half-decade, questions arose as to the continued need for adjutants to lighten the judicial system's human resource burden that Senate Investigative Committee 74JD91 determined that the removing adjutants from the legal system would be prohibitively expensive at this point. Oh my god. Also, wait, I just realized I missed something while I was in the bathroom. I was taking a shit. Sorcerer, thank you for the follow. Thank you. I forgot to read that when I got back. I was too busy shitsing. I'm so sorry. They're android judges, okay, with all the authority that entails. I'm surprised to hear that people are willing to accept rulings made by automated dependents. Rulings come from landmark cases in the higher courts. Those are passed down by actual judges, real people with decades of study and experience, but not every eviction case or traffic ticket that ends up in court requires years of legal expertise. Sometimes all you need is a referee or a sentencing algorithm. So androids are used to reduce caseload. Been that way for decades. How was a law that replaced judges ever enforced? Wouldn't there be injunctions stalling? Judges did fight it for years at every level and in every theater, but the public lost their patience for that kind of obstruction during the 60s. The state needed to shred budgets across the board, and so judges that couldn't be replaced by years of legal battles were instead ushered into early retirement by the unrelenting force of our great nation's accountants. And that it's not controversial having machines determine sentencing for human beings. Whatever controversy there is, it gets aimed at the machines, not the people who put them in there. And the machines can't lose sleep over it. I don't know about that. That is the annoying thing about it, man. They get mad at the maid, not the maker. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck am I already through this pib? I just opened it like half an hour ago. Besides, it used to be that even the most high profile of crimes wouldn't get a court date until weeks or months later. Nowadays, most crimes are prosecuted within a single business week. And that's not rushing things. Keeps people in my line of work on their toes, that's for sure. I'm just surprised to hear that there's so much haste. Don't they teach you about classical conditioning in the android school? Gotta feed the dog immediately after you ring the bell. If punishment doesn't follow the crime in quick succession, the lesson doesn't stick. Dude, all I can think of is the comic where the dogs ring a bell and start beating the shit out of what Pavlov or whatever his name was. She's going pib mad, pib crazy. I love the pibby, man. I can't. I love the pibby. I see. If the adjutants are so effective, why aren't they used in every trial? Why aren't they used in politics? That's a logical question to ask. And the answer is That logic only gets you so far when it comes to people. Doesn't everyone want the courts to be as just as possible? If adjutants are truly impartial and incorruptible, everyone wants justice, sure, but there are other considerations to be had, such as disgust. Okay. What? It's all people really care about, what all their morals boil down to. Just what they do or don't find disgusting. Only problem is, everything's more palatable when it's viewed through a screen. So when everyone sees the world through AR and cameras and no one's ever gets dirt under their fingernails, you'd be surprised what you can get away with. I don't understand. Yeah, well, therein lies the problem. She's gonna wake up tomorrow in the kitchen, surrounded by empty cans. Yeah. It's me every day, man. 6:24 p.m. July 1st, 2086. Courtroom 48D's nuts. There she is. Emma. Just a preliminary hearing, huh? You want to know it from the look on her face. I shouldn't have expected any leeway once we stepped into the courtroom. Not with her. That's the adjutant up there? Is it asleep? Oh, I see. Interesting. Not what I thought it would look like, but it's cool. It's loading. It needs to load. Don't be rude. Not every ad can afford to be decked out as extravagantly as you. Especially not those the state buys in bulk. There's an audience. You mean the gallery? That's nothing. Could have been a lot worse. Word of any trial in a case of David Asher's death must have spread like wildfire, even a mock trial like this one. Detectives like Reyes or London would get chewed out for leaking things to the press, but uniformed officers have little to lose and a lot to gain by dropping a text to their attentive friends in the media. And then there's the corporate plants. Interns usually, preferably ones with modded eyes. It's illegal to film inside a courtroom, but this is the year 2086. Things are going to get out one way or another. Is this the justice is blind sort of deal? Wait. I don't like having my face on camera. I don't like attention in general. I'm not such a coward that I'd skip David's funeral just because there'd be a paparazzi outside of it. My pretty little likeness was going to end up in the background of some tabloid photograph one way or another at the end of the circus. At least in this way, it's decent marketing for my legal services. What'll happen once the adjutant finishes loading? How will the trial proceed? All those films you watch, I figure you could extrapolate. I'm asking so as to correct any misconceptions. Well, not everything you saw on the silver screen is outdated. The court will come to order, there'll be a clarification of the charges, the defense enters a plea, and if it's not guilty, the prosecution begins making their case. That means calling witnesses to the stand, correct? Mostly. Sometimes they'll testify virtually from a separate location. Depends on the security concerns surrounding the particular individual in the case. Well, what do you do then? Sit there and watch? Not if I want to get paid. I cross-examine witnesses after the prosecution are done questioning them. I can present evidence or witnesses of my own in response as long as I have discovery backing me. You said that before. Discovery means just that I can't pull stuff out of my pockets and present it without any kind of context. I have to have proof that I acquired it legally during the course of my investigation. Most of the time, that means having recordings or witnesses that can verify on my investigation, which I can provide. You didn't think I was letting you tag along because I liked you, did you? And the jury. I don't see why where they would sit. The jury hasn't sat in the actual courtroom for years now. They have their own chambers where they just watch a feed of the trial's proceedings in anonymity. Anonymity. And that's not an issue? Don't people want to look someone in the eye before passing judgment on them? You've got an old-fashioned sense of justice, don't you? There's no jury at a preliminary hearing anyway. It's only meant to evaluate whether or not the prosecution has enough evidence to go to trial. A mere formality in today's day and age. With tools like optics and arcs, there's never a shortage of evidence to work with. So all you have to do today is convince the adjutant. Easier said than done. Adjutants lean heavily towards evidence over arguments. Right now, all the evidence suggests that David killed himself. And it's going to be an uphill battle. I can't afford to stumble. I need to focus on establishing an alternate interpretation of the facts, and it needs to be solid. But I don't have a suspect or even a motive for killing David yet. Anyway, I'll need to be sharp. Emma doesn't play nice enough for me to be anything less. I think it's waking up. Oh, girl, you are serving. Queen, yes. This third lower court is now in session. Adjutant AD-84 presiding. I call to order the case of the people v. Asher. Do the people wish to make an opening statement? No, Your Honor. No point bothering when it's just the adjutant here. Very well. Do the defense wish to make an opening statement? Not at this time, Your Honor. Might as well ring the bell and get the shit show started. If neither the people nor the defense wish to make an opening statement, then it falls to me to set the stage. My model name is Adjutant. My unit designation code is AD-84. I am a machine, an automated dependent, and I serve the state by presiding over trials. You might find yourself wondering, why? What gives a machine the right to judge a human? A fair question, but the answer is simple. In every culture, in every society, no matter how it is worshipped, enshrined, or deified, justice has one defining quality. Justice is beautiful. Like a balanced equation, like the golden ratio, like the Vitruvian man, justice is beautiful. So what gives me the right? This gorgeous bod. Okay, all right. This is going to be a long trial. Whatever, forget it. Forget I said anything. I was trying to lighten the mood, but I can see everybody hates me. Do the trial without me. They're guilty or whatever. Your Honor. Wait, what the flip? This defendant's already dead. Why are we doing this? Is this a debug thing? Because I'll log the error if I need to. No, Your Honor. This is a preliminary hearing to determine whether David Asher did, in fact, commit suicide. Is he? Oh, she did the humu. I get it. You want to make sure he wasn't cuckoo in the cranium before you cut up his will like a T-bone. I didn't realize that adjutants were so lively. They aren't. They're supposed to be austere and statuesque. Looks like we got served the most in need of repairs adjutant the court system could find. Whatever paper pusher was rushed to get this trial going must have wanted a little payback for the kindness. What's that look for? Could it be you're trying to size me up? When I dream of it, Your Honor. Good, because if you have doubts about my ability to run this trial, I could always just enact summary judgment here and now. I'm sure you'd find my ruling to be fair and even-handed. That won't be necessary, Your Honor. She's much more of a character than I'm used to seeing up there, even counting all the flesh and blood judges I've met. Love whatever's wrong with her. Can we, like, I'm scared. But she's still just an adjutant. She'll follow the evidence where it leads. So as long as I can make a few adjustments for the occasional outbursts from the bench, my plan's still workable. So, people, shall we get started with that first witness? Right away, Your Honor. The people call Dr. Yumi Sato to the stand. All right. Oh, here we go. There she is. It's Yumi. Hey, so how about it, pretty lady? You swear to tell the whole unadulterated truth to the best of your ability? I do. Good enough for me? Dr. Sato, you were in charge of the autopsy for David Asher, were you not? I was. And when did you make your examination? I started last night. Well, technically 1 a.m. would be very early this morning. I think you can say last night if you're talking about 1 in the morning. Objection! The defense will have their opportunity to cross-examine. Until then, you should refrain from making any errant remarks. All I said was, yeah, what she said. You mean sustained? Don't get cute with me, counselor. Okay, scary. Being cute is my job. I didn't even do anything. All right, I didn't even do anything. You're already taking points away. I'm feeling attacked right now, and I'm not feeling like this is going to be a fair trial, and I think we need to find, like, a different judge. Okay, call me crazy, but, like, I feel like we all walked in here with a conclusion we were all ready to get, so. God damn, we've barely gotten started. That seemed pretty bad out of nine. Making mistakes will increase your blind. Yeah, man. Blind is how much credit you'll lose for answering incorrectly when you yourself aren't controlling the ante. Excuse me. Blind increments on its own throughout the trial as the stakes get higher, but resets at the end of the day. Blind starts at and caps out at a higher number if you're playing on high roller. Mind the blind number in the top left when it appears. It helps you gauge what you stand to lose. Oh, fuck. We should try to avoid being penalized in the future. Yeah, crazy. Who would have thought? Shake it off. I'll get my chance to raise objections of my own soon enough. Dr. Sato, were you able to determine the cause of death? He passed away due to respiratory failure. Could you explain what that means to the court? Essentially, he wasn't getting enough oxygen into his blood. Seems by the time he arrived at the hospital, he was no longer breathing. What does respiratory failure look like? What are the symptoms? There'd be lightheadedness, dizziness, fainting, pale skin, and a bluish tinge around certain extremities. And the condition he was in matched those symptoms? Correct. In your experience, what are the most common causes of respiratory failure? It can be caused by injury or disease, but the subject had no wounds or reported illnesses, and otherwise appeared to be perfectly healthy. What else could cause respiratory failure then? It's also commonly seen in fatal drug overdoses. Did you perform a tox screen on Dr. Asher? Yes, but his tox screen came back clean. Whatever killed him, it wasn't something we've ever encountered before. A clean tox screen. Clean. Dialogue will proceed automatically during testimony, but you can still choose to advance text magic. Oh, fuck you. It's Danganronpa. Okay. You'll need to read carefully and wait for the witness to make a statement that sounds wrong. Then hit the call button to call their bluff. Hover over the call button or toggle the insight to focus on the claims of the witness statement. Insight can be disabled in the settings. Testimony will loop until you call. Oh, fuck. Okay. Oh, I'm so bad at these. I'm so bad at these. All right. Let's do it. Can't let this chance slant by. I need to catch her mistake the second it comes out of her mouth. You can turn off timed events in the menu, but it's all about the principle now. Right? You know, if I turn it off, then I feel like I'm not playing it right. Whiskey. Okay. David's contract. Upright cup. Okay. The subject passed away due to respiratory failure. Essentially, he wasn't getting enough oxygen into his blood. He would have experienced lightheadedness, dizziness, then fainting. Okay. As the subject was healthy, the respiratory failure must be attributed to a drug overdose. But when a tox screen was run at the hospital, it came back clean. It was puzzling to say the least. Something she just said now doesn't make sense. I am curious about the tox screen because if he drank whiskey, I know it's not like a druggy drug, but it is still technically something, right? Like, wouldn't that come through? I have evidence that directly contradicts her, so I just need to find the right moment to present it. Okay. Respiratory failure, oxygen in blood, lightheadedness, dizziness, drug overdose, tox screen. We call it. After choosing call, you need to respond with evidence. Look over the 3 cards that show up and confirm your card. Upright cup, David's contract, whiskey. Bam! Oh, right in the head. It's impossible for David Asher's tox screen to be clean, and we all know it, since he was on camera drinking alcohol the night that he died. I'm so smart. I'm so smart. We're starting strong. We're starting strong, gamers. Every streamer I've watched has turned off timed events. I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one. And we're not going to lose a single one here. Ah! That makes sense. And that scared you? The witness merely misspoke, Your Honor. As apparently states in the tox report itself, Dr. Asher did have alcohol in his blood, but not at such a concentration as to be lethal. Yeah, my bad. When I said the tox screen was clean, I just meant didn't tell the attending physicians anything they didn't already know. Overall, a little more nitpicking than I like to be, but at least I was able to balance the momentum more or less. Shall we continue, Dr. Sato? If the tox screens were negative for pharmaceuticals and drugs, what caused Dr. Asher's respiratory failure? During my autopsy, I analyzed his blood and was able to isolate a foreign compound. So there was a lethal dose of drug inside his body. It just happened to be a drug that the hospital had never encountered before. That's correct. I think we're all going to get pretty tired pretty fast if we don't at least pick up a placeholder name for the substance, Your Honor. The people don't object, Your Honor. In that case, I'll put my creative heuristics to work, coming up with an original scientific fitting name for the substance. A name like Omega. Omega-3. Omega lol. The defense will stop throwing cards in the courtroom? No. The name is already taken. Fine, call it Delta or whatever. Delta, used in science to denote an unknown variable. Not bad. Delta has other meanings when it comes to drugs, but yeah, our Delta matches no known public for pharmacology or toxology records. That being said, chemically it does have all the hallmarks of a general depressant. I know the feeling. So it stands to reason that would exhibit a similar effect on the body when ingested. You say ingested, why? I eliminated all other possibilities during my examination of the body. He must have swallowed it, and judging from his stomach contents, it must have been a liquid. Thank you, Dr. Sato. So I summarized things for the court. Yes, please, I wasn't listening that closely. The victim died of a respiratory failure. And his tox screens showed that his blood was clear of anything that could cause respiratory failures. Except for this unknown substance, the poison we've labeled Delta. That sounds like a textbook suicide. Should we wrap it up here? Not quite, Your Honor. This may clearly be a poisoning, but there's at least one detail about this case that doesn't feel like a suicide at all. Training for David before he died. Didn't see him add anything. I guess it'd be the testimony, but the thing about her testimony is she did say he said some pretty, like, damning stuff at the end of their conversation, but I kind of think it's like all we got, right? That's not what I wanted to click. That was almost so bad. People shouldn't get ahead of themselves. There's nothing textbook about a supposed suicide that had a witness sitting there watching it happen. As you say. Well, now I'm lost. Was the poisoning a suicide or not? If that's the case, then perhaps we should give the defense the opportunity to cross-examine. Unless they're going to insist on testifying themselves. How kind of you to offer. Ball's in my court now, so how do I counter? I thought he said it while he was dying. But I mean, still, like, Jung Solly was there when he said, like, I'm glad. Or no, actually, no, it was before. It was before, because he said, I'm glad things will end this way. And then he, like, bottoms up that bitch. That's how it was. Emma's argument basically goes as follow. David ingested the Delta knowingly, and the Delta causes respiratory failure. 6 out of 21. I'm scared. He died of respiratory failure, thus David committed suicide. 12. Okay, wait. During blackjack, every piece of information you learn deals you a call. Oh, fuck. Now this is where I get screwed. Choose only the questions that are logical and relevant, and only press if you think a line of questioning is worth continuing, or else you'll go bust and lose credit. Select the press option to see what the follow-up question will be. You can only win blackjack when you reach exactly 21. Why? So don't press further if you're already there. Don't ask the wrong questions. I see. Okay. Interesting. We'll see how this goes. With my cross-examination, I need to put a microscope over the weakest part of that argument and hope that some cracks will appear under pressure. Are you sure it was ingested? Are you sure it was respiratory? Are you sure Delta is to blame? Didn't they say something about I could see the follow-up question if I do something, or... This sounds scarier than it is. Okay. I hope you know how to count cards. Nope. Are you sure Delta is to blame? Are you sure it was respiratory failure? Are you sure it was ingested? Are you sure Delta is to blame? Click an option and hover over it and press option. What do you mean press option? What do you mean press option? I don't see no... What? Click an option. Okay, click it. Well, hopefully this question isn't a bad one. Dr. Sato, you're only able to identify the presence of this Delta after hours of work. Can you really be sure that this never-before-seen chemical can cause respiratory failure? Well, I have had the time to run simulations, and they do give every indication that would act as a depressant. Ingest enough of any depressants and respiratory failure would occur. Stay. Okay, so we got 663. All right. Okay. Fuck it, we ball. Isn't it possible that we actually died from something other than respiratory failure? Well, no, not really. Yeah. You could argue or speculate about what caused the respiratory failure, but it is, in fact, a fact that he died. His heart and lungs stopped working. Right, thank you for that. Are you sure it was ingested then? You fool! I don't know what I'm doing, man! Dr. Sato, you said the subject had to have ingested the Delta orally, but how sure can we actually be about that? Pretty sure? I mean, I could go into detail about the cavities that I checked, but... was it knowingly ingested? But how sure can we be that the subject ingested the Delta knowingly? Well, we can't be sure of that. Certainly not just from an autopsy. You said it must have been a liquid. Yes, would it have been a large amount? Depends on the concentration of the delivery solution. It could have just been a drop. The kind of thing that would easily go unnoticed, yes. Calls for speculation, Your Honor. Withdrawn. Oh, man, I wanted to jump on her case. Okay, now stay. Got it, because I'm probably not going to get more. I'm not going to get a 1 here. But... What do I just click one of these again and then I click stay after that, or what? Stay. That okay, you need to hit 21 exact 21. All right, well fuck it, we ball. You were only able to identify the thing. Never before. I had to run simulations. They have indication it would act as a depressant, ingest of enough of any, and respiratory failure would occur. Only simulations? I mean, it's all I can do, man. So you haven't tested Delta on an actual person? No, I haven't. Okay. It'd be very difficult to do given our extremely limited sample, not to mention highly unethical. Of course, without such a test, you don't actually know for sure that Delta can cause any of the symptoms you've described. This doesn't, like, seem like a great argument, but okay. Was there a question that statement, counselor? You don't actually know for sure, do you? No, not yet, anyway. Seems like that's, blackjack, I guess. I didn't feel good about any of that, but thank you for your time, Dr. Sato. We all appreciate it. But it does seem like we're still in the dark about many details regarding Dr. Asher's death, wouldn't you say? Well, poisoning via the compound we're calling Delta is still the most likely explanation. So are there any other explanations for what happened? Defense is calling for speculation, Your Honor. It's not speculation when a medical examiner is attempting to explain the cause of death, Your Honor. The witness will answer the question. Well, respiratory failure can be caused by illnesses. If he had undiagnosed pneumonia or some other disease and his respiratory system was weakened, a diagnosed pneumonia with his level of healthcare, it is technically possible. I'll take it. I have no more questions for this witness. That felt weak, but I can't be picky when I'm stalling for time. Yeah. Seeing down whenever I can, however, I can is just about all I can manage. She's yawning. She is not impressed. My wife. Here she is. All right, let's go. Detective Reyes, you said you were one of the leads in investigating the crime scene. Yes, ma'am. And did you interview the EMTs who first arrived on the scene? I did. They responded to an emergency signal from the home security console located in the kitchen. What did they find when they arrived on the scene? The victim was unconscious on the floor of his parlor. He was receiving CPR from a witness, the individual who had called them. They were both airlifted to Gatesville Memorial Hospital, and Dr. Asher was declared dead shortly after arriving there. She's actually handling herself pretty well up on the stand. I've expected her to roll her eyes during the swearing in. But when you take into consideration her love for boot heel authority, she might be right at home here in the courtroom, the very seat of the state's power over the people. The witness met with the deceased about half an hour before he fell ill from 7:30 to 8 p.m. Objection. Reyes hates Morgan's ass. This is a biased witness or whatever. So true, actually. Wait. This is my future wife. Actually, there's a conflict of interest here. We can't have her on the stand. If you lose points in this part, Reyes will never respect you. Fuck. Shit. Okay. Oh, God damn it. The two of them talked for some time and shared a drink. Shortly after, Dr. Asher became distracted, lightheaded, and eventually non-responsive. And during the same time period, drinking the same liquor, the witness exhibited no symptoms themselves. None. Through a collaborative effort with Noble Electronics Security Division, we searched the entire building, but we found nothing unusual in any of the food or drink on the premises, including the bottle that the witness and the deceased drank from. So what was your ultimate conclusion after investigating the scene? The whiskey bottle was clean, the witness's drink was clean. The only person who got sick was Dr. Asher, drinking from a cup that he had prepared. So it was our determination that David Asher committed suicide by poisoning himself. She's pretty tight-lipped up there, but I think she slipped up at least once. The police want to claim that they've eliminated every other possibility and covered every angle. But I know there's a number of blind spots that they're not willing to admit to. Right. Poison, David's cup, the upright cup. And the poison. Okay, well, we'll just have to see. Asher met with the witness at 7:30 p.m. last night, 8 p.m. He's the one who prepared their drinks, right? And there was no opportunity for the witness to ever slip him something. Okay. He drank from a cup that he himself poisoned. Seems pretty cut and dry if you ask me. But just to be sure, we scanned the kitchen, the lab, and the basement. And there was no poison anywhere else. All I need to do is point it out, and then I'll get to watch her self-destruct, which will be fun. I'm actually not hitting it. Nobody tell me it. By 8, he was dead. He's the one who prepared their drinks. Right. And there was no opportunity for the witness to ever slip him something. He drank from a cup that he himself poisoned. Seems pretty cut and dry if you ask me. Okay, so that's the thing is, like, they didn't have cameras that he prepared the drink, but I'm just like, the 3 evidences that we had, how would I prove that wrong, right? Because it's the 2 cups and the poison, right? That's the evidence that they gave us to work with. It was David's cup, the upright cup, and the poison. So how would either of those work into the whole fact that they don't have any footage of the drink being made, so they can't actually prove that he prepared the drink, right? Check the evidence. Can I? How? Oh, up here. David's cup. Forensics shows matches for his fingerprints, saliva, but toxicology tests prove it inconclusive. Too much of the whiskey was drunk and or evaporated. Okay. Jim's cup. A small amount of whiskey left in it, found upright in the dining table scene. No traces of foreign elements. Poison. Many similarities to chemical makeup of a depressant drug. No additional traces found anywhere at the crime scene or in the penthouse. Yeah, I don't... Am I dumb? Is there something really obvious I'm like overlooking? Because genuinely, I'm like, I don't see even information still here that does anything for me. I mean, I guess like the toxology is inconclusive. So I guess maybe I do that. Maybe I don't think about the preparation, but just the traces of the poison is what I need to focus on. So hold on. Let's run that back. All right, met with the witness. He prepared the drinks. No opportunity to ever slip him something from the witness. He drank from a cup that he himself poisoned. Seems pretty cut and dry if you ask me. We scanned the kitchen, the lab, and the basement. There's no poison anywhere else. We're trying to be as nitpicky as possible to stall. Yeah, so which one of those lines do I want to do? He drank from a cup that he himself poisoned, right? It could be this one. David's cup. Because it was inconclusive, right? So we'll see if this works. You can't make that claim. Not when the evidence record clearly shows that the tests of Dr. Asher's cup were inconclusive. The police can't claim he drank from a poisoned cup without first proving that his cup was in fact poisoned. Okay, cool. So here's the thing I need to say too. Is one thing about Ace Attorney that did piss me off is there would be times where you would have the right evidence, but you had to click the right voice line to argue against. And there would be like multiple voice lines that seemed like, or dialogue lines that seemed like they would be relevant, but only one of them was the right one. So I was like, is it not finding tracks of poison anywhere or the cup, right? Like him preparing the poison. I was like, it was one of those two. So it's a 50-50. You're talking a lot of sense, lady. Does it resolve or do you have a response, D.A. Rockford? Testing on the deceased cup has been inconclusive so far, Your Honor. I don't dispute that. Though, I'd be surprised if the defense had any idea on how else the poison could have possibly been delivered by Dr. Asher alone. Not at this time, but that's the funny thing about the burden of proof. It's not on the defense, as we're all aware. Right, we all knew that. I definitely knew that. Now the people were done bemoaning that pesky innocent until proven guilty issue. Perhaps I could begin my cross-examination. Fire away, baby! Fire away. Baby. All right, blackjack time. Race's testimony is meant to show that David's the only one who could have poisoned himself. She'll be on guard and hard set against helping me, but if I help her focus on eliminating other possibilities, okay, so 7 and a 6, I could get her to make my point for me before she even realizes what's happened. Anyone else in the building ever seen poisoning himself? Okay, so I understand how this works now. Is I'm not penalized for clicking these. I'm penalized depending on if I stay or push. So I can freely listen to all of these and then I'll be fine. So anyone else in the building ever seen poisoning himself could have been poisoned off camera. We'll start with that one because that's what I was thinking was going to be brought up before. Isn't it possible that Dr. Asher is poisoned off camera? Possible. I don't know who else would have been, how else it would have been done. That just goes to show it had to have been suicide. The only time he was off camera, he was all by himself. Never mind. Apparently, I can actually get in trouble for that. That's not where I wanted to leave the conversation. Might certainly seem that way, yes. All right. Ever seen poisoning himself? We've seen a lot of assuming and reasoning in quick succession, so I ask this plainly for the court. Is there any photographic evidence showing David Asher adding anything to his drink that night? No. Seems he had already poured for both of them by the time he returned to the parlor. He'd already poured. In that case, the next question needs to be when and what. Any poison in the kitchen? Okay, well, listen, there's a plus on this now, so it's gotta be good to click. Detective Reyes, during the course of your investigation, did you find any samples of Delta in the kitchen or parlor? No. That was a fast answer. Well, it's a pretty easy question. If you'd found poison at the scene of the crime, that'd be pretty important, don't you think? What about in his lab, in his bedroom, or his basement? No, no, and no. We didn't find any Delta or any other unusual substance in any part of his penthouse. Right, they never found any poison. No poison at all? Fuck it. At any point in the investigation, was poison found on the body of the deceased? No. He must have been searched. Did he have any capsules or vials? Eyedroppers? Did he even have his wallet on him? Didn't even have his wallet on him. Why? All right, any poison? Anyone else in the building? It's our last option. The only people you saw on the cameras that night were Dr. Asher and his witness, correct? Yeah, there's no footage in the house of anyone else. Are there any other parts of the house that aren't recorded by camera? Sure. There are a number of rooms in the home's interior that don't have any cameras in them. So it's possible that there were other people that night because cameras weren't watching every room. No, that's not possible. The only way up the penthouse is through the building's elevator or the fire escape stairs, both of which are on camera. And that still wouldn't get you past his front door, which is also on camera. No one besides the two of them was there that day. Stay. Thank you for enlightening the court about this point, Detective. What point? Well, I think it's strange, don't you, Detective? I mean, how could he have possibly poisoned himself without first procuring some poison? Blackjack, baby! Blackjack, baby! What do you mean, procure? Where did it come from, Detective? The poison that you're so sure was dissolved in his drink. It can't have come from thin air, you understand? It has to have been another container at some point. Whatever it was in before, it probably evaporated. All of it? It only took a small droplet to kill. Your Honor, are you going to have to ask them to keep it civil? In a minute, sure. There wasn't any pill bottle in his bathroom or syringe in his pocket containing this apparently deadly substance. So how did he get it? What did he keep it in? The police want to claim that Dr. Asher committed suicide because they've established that his guest never had an opportunity to kill him, but they failed to prove that the victim had means to kill himself. And I guess I'll be the one to move things along. The Delta didn't come out of thin air, counselor. And it didn't come from a syringe either. Dr. Asher was able to drip the poison right into his cup, straight from the source. That's way too specific to be a bluff. Allow me to submit into evidence Exhibit G. A piece of machinery found in Dr. Asher's laboratory, sold under the product name Manufacturer. Oh, shit! Oh, I know this one. It's used in delicate scientific work to produce nanomachines, chemical compounds, and polymers. That's the same machine I saw when Giles gave me a tour of the production floor. Very good, Your Honor. It's a valuable tool in any scientific library, and Dr. Asher was well acquainted with its use. As a matter of fact, he had a number of presets coded into it. Even the android can see where this is going. With just a few taps, he can reproduce any number of specific substances for his research. Giles is getting more sus. Yep. Sure is. He died from the blood clot nanomachine. The nanomachine got stuck. Any chemical his heart desired, really. You think Randock Mechanics would allow their products to be used to produce illicit chemicals? Using the manufacturer to make unlicensed drugs does go against their terms and conditions, so Dr. Asher's warranty is certainly null and void. They can't hard-code their machines to prevent the production of drugs that hasn't been invented yet. Yeah, I mean, she's not wrong. Dr. Asher died when his respiratory system failed because of a depressant overdose. For him, it would have been peaceful, like falling asleep. You see, he didn't need to commission a synthetic drug from some street vendor or order an exotic poison from overseas. He could produce Delta at any time in the comfort of his own home. A quick and painless death readily available in under a minute at the touch of a button. Specifically, preset 19. Damn. I thought I actually had something for a moment there, but I was playing into Emma's hand the entire time. Seems like we're done with this witness, Your Honor. Oh yeah, I didn't say out loud. If it was one of those poisons, imagine if it was one of the poisons that work after a long while. Always a possibility. Yes, ma'am. But before we move on, perhaps we should take a moment and put together a timeline of events as we know them. Not for me, of course, just in case someone else might need it. Simple enough. We know that Dr. David Asher left the parlor and went down to the basement at 7:36 p.m. That's where he got the whiskey and the cups they drank from. The cameras show him returning to the parlor to drink with the witness at 7:40 p.m. And of course, we know that he fell ill and passed away shortly thereafter. Any objections so far, counselor? Let's stay. I'll stay. Not at the time, no. The timeline you described is accurate as we know it, as you say. With the latest piece of evidence, we know that Asher could have easily dispensed the poison directly into his cup by placing it inside the manufacturer, activating the preset, and simply waiting 2 minutes. Easily accomplished during the 4 minutes he spent off camera from 7:36 to 7:40. Wouldn't you say? A complete timeline of events. He had the means. He had the only opportunity. Seems like we're about ready to wrap it up here, no? Where are we on the loading bar of yours, Sarah? I don't know. I had a feeling you'd say that. Well, counselor, are we done here? Raise. It's missing something. It's foolproof. Oh, I'm scared, man. I think we stay, I guess. The people's argument more or less paints a complete picture. Very big of you to admit it. So are we done here? Is what I would say. God damn it. Okay. If they had established motive already. Smooth recovery, Adonai. God damn it. Okay. I should have gone for it. I should have big dicked it. All right, I knew that. I wasn't getting excited to finish early or anything. This is a preliminary hearing, counselor. Our focus should be on the evidence, so just feels like an awful waste of taxpayer dollars to get us all down here for a debate and not get to the truth of the matter, you know. So, I was hoping we wouldn't have to go through this next part. What are you talking about? Your Honor, if it pleases the court, new evidence. This is a recording of a phone conversation dated at 6:30 p.m. last night between the deceased man and a man he was in a relationship. God fucking damn it. A man named Isaac Porter. Fellas, it's not looking too good for us right now. I think I might need to look for a new line of work. Porter and David's breakup call. If Emma wants to present it here now, then the content must be relevance, Your Honor. What bearing does this recording have on the case at hand? It establishes what emotional state the deceased was in on the day he died. Cool, begin playback. Hello? Always so soft-spoken. Oh, here we go. Isaac, you there? Yeah, I'm here. What's wrong? Don't know, because I wasn't expecting you to pick up. Why not? Did you mean to call me? Yeah, I did. You gonna ask me how I've been? Yeah, how have you been? Christ, David. What's the matter? Whatever it is, whatever I did, I'm sorry. Whatever you did? It's alright, man. I'm sure you are sorry. I just don't want any more apologies from you. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I don't think I want anything from you anymore, David. What do you mean? Shouldn't have done this. This was unnecessary. My bad, man, for not taking the hints. With you, it's always better left unsaid, right? More efficient that way, so you can keep working. Isaac, if I've been distant with you, or... No, you haven't been distant with me, or cold with me, or anything with me for a while now. Isaac, just forget it, man. Forget I called. Forget it all, yeah? Let's just forget we were ever anything but strangers. It's all we are now anyway. Oof. Recently, I've been distracted, you know? Nah, don't worry about it. Really, we're good. Oh. Okay. So do you need anything or... Ooh. Alright. It's over. It's over. We're back. It's over. We're so back. It's over. It's over. Okay, to be fair, the more I see of Isaac, he kind of seems like a dick. I won't lie. Because the way he recounted that phone call was not all there. Where did you even get this? All of Dr. Asher's incoming and outgoing phone calls were recorded by the building's penumbra system. The recording continued for several seconds after each call was ended for quality assurance. Remind me to check the terms and conditions on my next phone bill. Recorded calls. Okay, nothing big there. Shall we hear the rest? Gotta be the last time. The last time I let someone. The last time. Oh. Might just be a call, but it makes for pretty damning evidence at this point in the discussion. Emma's got her means, opportunities, and motives and all lined up. So why is she looking at me like that? That was depressing. Yeah? Can we finish up without anything else that horrible? Emma's never been apologetic in victory. So does that mean this is just pity? We can't let it end like this. Less than 2 hours before Dr. Asher died, Isaac Porter ended their relationship over the phone. The court can make a reasonable assumption about what kind of mental state Dr. Asher was in last night. That was a bad move, Miss Rockford. Then if the people have nothing further to add, I've been feeling off my game all day, caught between corporate inbreeders and ant-brain protesters, and pitying me here and now. Oh. Ooh, here we go. All right, that's all it takes to get my blood properly boiling. It's about time for me to call my first witness, no? You want to keep going after that? What are you doing, counselor? Just calling the ultimate silver bullet, rock solid slam dunk witness a girl could ask for. Is it who I think it is? Oh, it's Jess. Okay, I was not expecting Jess. All right. Welcome in. Is here good? Doesn't matter where I put my hands. Miss Starling, thank you for coming here today. Of course, whatever I can do. What is your relation to the deceased? I was his executive assistant at Noble Electronics. I would arrange his meetings, coordinate communications between him and other departments, that sort of thing. Ultimate silver bullet. Starling's the only play I have right now, the only stalling tool I have left. For now, I should just focus on getting as much information from her as possible. Whether or not it's useful, it'll at least buy me some time. While Jess is being sworn in, Sarah mentioned that the hard drive's about 60% decrypted. Considering the rate Sarah's gone at so far, there's maybe another hour left. I might be able to stall for that long. If I talk real slow, I'd like to ask you a few questions about Dr. Asher. Please answer them to the best of your ability. Right. Dr. Asher was a well-known public figure, but he was well-regarded professionally. Or was he well-regarded professionally? Of course! Everybody loved him, dude. He was everyone's own fate. Dr. Asher's work set the bar for the entire automated dependent world. Stay focused, Spearmint. No, she's so sad. You say you coordinated his communications. Were there ever threats? Did people ever express an intent to harm him? Objection. Calls for speculation. Intent. I'm feeling that's going to be sustained. Did anyone ever threaten him? There were times where he was the focus of negative attention. How so? Dr. Asher was a favorable subject of many conspiracy theorists. With all his contributions to the field, it was easy for them to make claims about his influence. They say that his work was plagiarized or that he was hiding illegal subcommands in the technology he helped develop. And people would contact him about these conspiracy theories, relevance, whether or not people wanted to kill him. Well, withdrawn. Miss Starling. People would attempt to contact him, yes, but their messages were always too vague for the police to take action on. It would say that he belonged in jail or that he couldn't avoid the truth or that someone should do something to shut him up. Did they ever talk about hurting him? Yes. But I always turn those messages straight over to the police. Yeah, I'm seeing that on record. Yeesh, who writes this stuff? All those cases have long since been resolved, Your Honor. And none of the parties involved have had contact with David Asher in years. It's like the only lawyer game that uses the terms correctly. I wouldn't know. I haven't watched Better Call Saul in a few years. The police takes harassment very seriously. Something you want to add, counselor? Just clear my throat. May I continue? So true. You worked with Dr. Asher for many years. Did you have a relationship outside of work? Did you ever talk about anything besides professional concerns? Sure, we've gone out to dinner and met on the weekends. I think he liked to pick my brain, since he needed relationship advice a lot. Even if he didn't realize it's what he was asking for. I like to think that he knew he could talk to me, but... Did he ever talk to you, or to your knowledge, anyone else about hurting himself? Oh god, never. Do you know of any history you might have had with mental illness, depression, anxiety? No? So when you heard that people argue that Dr. Asher had done this to himself, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. You're saying that you can't believe, objection, on what grounds, asked and answered, stalling, and also, the people have documents that would be of interest to the court on this matter. Juicy, in what matter specifically are you referring to? The deceased's mental health history. Emma wouldn't be speaking up if she didn't have something real. So what the hell is this about? We have a private correspondence that describe. If they're private, then should it not have been obtained by the people without his permission? He can't give permission if he's already dead, and we're well within our rights to obtain evidence as it pertains to his crime. Convincing. Didn't honestly expect to stop her from admitting her evidence into the record, but I was hoping to at least slow her. Where are you on that footage? 77%, approximately. I need to buy whatever time I can, however I can, even if that means running out the clock as a punching bag. I have here messages between Dr. Asher and a psychiatrist he was meeting with and speaking to for the past year, along with paperwork detailing how his treatment was covered under his Platinum plan. Platinum? I don't intend to air all of Dr. Asher's secrets here in the court. Oh, okay, I guess. Your Honor, he was on Xanax. It's what it sounded like. But I am prepared to read excerpts from messages and transcripts from phone calls, which, when put together, paint a clear picture of the kind of stress Dr. Asher was experiencing, and the dark thoughts he was struggling with. Transcripts of his phone calls. I'll admit them into evidence, assuming there are no objections. I mean, we gotta stay on it. Object? No, I don't. Accept what she said. No, I do object. Didn't say that the first time. Yeah. God damn it! What the fuck do you mean? Oh my god, I'm gonna get fucked. I'm gonna get so fucked. On the grounds of foundation, where do you say you got this? It's retrieved from his digital records. There's no reason to doubt his authenticity. They have been like requiring me to like push way more than I like immediately, like every time. I think I can mess up like 2 more times and I have to do this over. Even if I were to point out that David had an executive level 4 plan on a platinum plan. Really? Really? Yes, really. It's all there in the record. This is easily explained. David had an executive plan that Noble managed for him. And when he was seeing the psychiatrist both in person and over the phone, your own witness had attested that he dealt with stalkers and was worried for his privacy. You need to be more assertive. Literally, like, the whole point is, like, okay, if I need to always be assertive, what's the point of even staying at all? It's all about patience, all right? Assertiveness needs to, like, the confidence needs to come from something. You can't just make it up. That's not how it works. So it's easy enough to reason that he had a separate insurance policy he paid for on his own, even if only to keep one thing out of Noble's grasp. Sure, easy enough to make that assumption, but it doesn't make it correct. David used a separate insurance to hide the psychiatrist from Noble's spying. He was smarter than that. Testimony, evaluation, recorded calls, autopsy, fucking, I don't remember any of this shit. Autopsy. Respiratory failure, talk screen. Okay. Nothing from that. Next is the... Sarah's papers, sure. It wasn't that. It's not the valuation. There we go. Valuation of the financial value. Takes into account the fact that Sarah's the only known android made by David Asher. Okay. Value of the components used... I scrolled and I don't know where I am. Okay, user construction, the potential profits reaped from the experimental technology contained within her totals to a very large sum. Platinum plan. Used to schedule and pay for psychiatric appointments for several occasions in the last year. I don't actually remember what evidence I'm looking at. Testimony, evaluation, recorded calls, autopsy. Evaluation. That's what I was just looking at. All building calls recorded, monitored by Noble. I'm so fucked. Unknown substance and bloodstream. Right? Hold on. Okay, so, okay. Executive plan, psychiatrist, Starling's testimony. Platinum plan. Recorded calls. All building calls recorded by Noble, right? I need to look at the backlog. Hold on. Executive plan that Noble managed for him. He was also seeing the psychiatrist both in person and over the phone. So maybe it is the phone thing. Your own witness has attested that he dealt with stalkers, was worried for his privacy. It's easy enough to reason that he had separate insurance policy he paid for its own, even if only to keep one thing out of Noble's grasp. Easy enough to make that assumption, but it doesn't make it correct. David used a separate insurance as a psychiatrist from Noble spying. No, he was smarter than that. Separate insurance. David hid his psych treatments from Noble. Right. Okay. Recorded calls, evaluation, testimony. Every time I'm like, I don't know what any of my evidence has to do about this. All right. Jung's story. They would often hold a toast. Victories of cheap liquor and plastic cups. Convincing Noble Electronics to adopt became then a one-point doctrine approach to Android manufacturing. Yada yada yada. Okay, that didn't do shit for me. Hold up. That was her story, not her testimony. I'm fucking stupid. Recorded calls, I guess, man. Wait, but I don't know, man. I guess. He may well have wanted a private psychiatrist, someone who didn't work for Noble, who would have his best interest in heart. But if so, he wouldn't have contacted them over the phone. Now, when he knew his phone calls were being recorded. Okay, I hate the stakes. I hate the stakes so much because that was so obvious. But like, I'm so scared of like messing up that I'm like, it can't be. That was too easy. It can't be. It's not possible. David Asher was well versed in having every aspect of his life overanalyzed by data-hungry parasites. You really think he would try and hide mental health problems from them with the second insurance policy? Apparently, yes, since I'm standing here with evidence that shows exactly that. Snolv, welcome in. We picked high roller mode. I know, man! It's scary, man! I don't like it! But I want it for the freaking keychain! Breathe, I don't know how. Also, I just realized dyslexia is awesome. It's not snalv, it's snavel. Welcome in. How are you? Yeah, we're doing I'm getting my ass beat in the courtroom right now. I won't lie. What keychain? You'll see. Does it though? Pardon me. Yeah, like what exactly are you suggesting, counselor? Still not done decrypting? Well, it's difficult to. Right. What the hell? Might as well swing for the fences at this point. I'm not trying to muddle the issue or confuse the court, Your Honor. I would never make an outlandish, unsubstantiated claims just for the sake of causing drama. What are you? I'm merely concerned that the DA Rockford has been an unwitting pawn in the act of corporate espionage. I mean... Hold up. He doesn't have glasses. What are you talking? I was about to be like, they both have glasses. He literally doesn't have. Ignore me. What? And if the markets were to open Monday with people believing that David Asher, the man who programmed the brain of every noble android, was battling mental health issues for the last several months. Objection, mischaracterization, foundation, all the rest. There are no corporate spies in the courtroom, counselor. There were no boogeyman hiding under the bench. Oh, thank God. Oh my God. Was she watching TikToks on her phone? Maybe. Maybe. I know nothing of this game. Any remarks I make are merely jokes. I mean, Courtroom Gamble is pretty much what this game is right now. David was a once-in-a-generation intellect and extremely valuable human asset to his employees. And his employers' many enemies would do whatever it takes to destroy his credibility now that he can't defend himself. And he was also your personal... You shouldn't even be arguing in this case in the first place, counselor. Now you're trying to call the police's evidence gathering into question, all because you can't admit that for the past several months your friend has been seeing a psychiatrist every Monday and you didn't know. That is, sorry, but did you still need me up here? Oh my God, Jess is still there. The witness will refrain from interrupting when the girls are fighting. So true, bestie. With how my luck's been so far, Sarah's progress bar is probably moving backwards right about now. And Emma's patience is wearing thin. This could be my last shot to create any kind of reasonable doubt. I'd be happy to wrap up my questioning if the court will allow. That seems cool with me. And my evidence, Your Honor, will be entered into the record. I'd like to hear a bit more testimony before deciding. That's fine, Your Honor. As you were, counselor. At this stage of the game, with the score where it's at, I can probably only ask one more question. Better make it count. What can Starly tell us that no one else could? If she hadn't called me this morning, I wouldn't be standing here. And she only did that because... Alright. We are all gathered here to try and figure out what happened to Dr. Asher last night. So please tell us, what exactly did he last... contact you, meet you at HQ, see you? I don't fucking know. When's the last time you had contact with Dr. Asher, Miss Starling? That's pretty easy to figure out. Let me just... It was last night at 6:57 p.m. I am so dumb. Emma's last name is Rockford. That's why I was so confused. Starling is Jess. I just asked, like, the most obvious question. What did they say? I was crashing out. You can still save if you want. You can't save during these, I don't think. I thought that was like the whole point. There are records of some text, but their flag is work related. Does that count? Think relevant, Your Honor? Relevant? Texting isn't relevant. The texting makes a big difference. Listen, man. Every time I've... No, weekday. But the timing of it's critical to this case. Why would they phrase it that way then? For no reason. I lost momentum by playing it safe just now. Okay. Truly, she brings an unconventional rhythm to the courtroom. Try to save. Yep, can't. Wait. What the fuck? No, I can. Oh, okay. Sure. I thought it was allowed to save during these. I thought that was like the whole point. Okay, whatever. She brings an unconventional rhythm to the courtroom, but I don't get why the texts make that big of a difference. They don't. On the contrary, these texts are a vital piece of evidence that change the timeline of events as we know them. I mean, I accidentally, like, did something right, apparently. We know what happened to David last night, generally speaking, but the order of events is critical, especially if Emma wants to make claims about David's state of mind. So that would have been after the call, right? Like, after the call with Isaac, with Porter Robinson. Select and place cards from your hand onto the slots in chronological order left to right. You can pick a card back up and place it in another slot if you change your mind, or use return to undo the last card. Easy. All right, this is the easiest thing we've done. Isaac's call was at 6:30. David faints, that was at 8. June's testimony would just be right before it. Starling's text. Okay. Isaac's call, Starling's text, testimony, David faints. Thanks to Miss Starling, we've now got a much clearer picture of the night's events. We know that Isaac Porter and David Asher broke up at 6:30 p.m. and I was rooting for them so hard. So true. We now know that David messaged his assistant, Miss Starling, at 6:57 p.m. David is on camera with the witness from 7:30 to 8 p.m. and he is declared dead not long after. The people don't object to that timeline of events, but we do question Counselor Morgan's reason for belaboring it. One last question, Miss Starling. Yeah? What was the nature of your conversation with Dr. Asher? Well, actually, we talked about you and how he wanted you to have his android, that android there. Putting his affairs in order, I guess. It might appear that way. Can you specify what his instructions were exactly? How did he want this done? He wanted me to bring you to his penthouse and help you get set up as the android's new owner. Yes, Miss Starling, but when did he want this to happen? We said it was pretty urgent, so I should do it first thing Tuesday morning. Tuesday? First thing Tuesday morning. David Asher didn't like doing anything on Mondays. And he was going to, and was he going to be in attendance? Well, actually, yes, he said he'd work from home to help us. No way he intended for us to have that much trouble getting to, Oh! To summarize then, half an hour after Yooree had his breakup and half an hour before his guest had arrived, he was planning an appointment that would require his presence with you for next Tuesday. That's right, he was. Not something you would think to do if you were planning on dying that very night, would it? Yeah, you're right. Your Honor, if David Asher was preparing for the week ahead, a mere hour before he passed away, don't you think the people's assumptions about this mental state ought to be a bit, I don't know, re-examined? Your logic is sound. Do the people have a rebuttal? If the court will just allow a moment. Sounds like an opening for me. If we assume that Dr. Asher was not suicidal and he was not looking at beautiful girls, therefore did not kill himself, we must then ask ourselves, who else had the means, motive, and opportunity to take his life? Until now, we've taken for granted this idea that Delta must have come from his nanofacture from inside the house. Adonai, not right now. But even if that's true, which it may not be, that doesn't mean that he was the one who used the nanofacture. Adonai. Would you allow me a moment? Like, dude, I'm kind of heated up right now. Confer, Your Honor. Sure, why not throw away your momentum? I'm in the middle of something, Sarah. I can't afford to let Rockford. I've gained access to the hard drive's files. What? Seriously? As I said, progress with this type of encryption is exponential. It can be difficult to estimate. Right. Okay. Do you have the footage from last night? I have the file. Have you watched it? I thought you'd want to know right away. I suppose it doesn't matter. Either this has our silver bullet and we've got a case, or it doesn't and everything falls apart. That seems quite risky. It's the least risky path to victory we have, seeing how it's the only path to victory we have. He did it, didn't he? Screw it. Upload it to the core computer. Okay! Yes, Adonai. Thank you for your patience, Your Honor. Your Honor? I'm awake, and I'm getting pretty hefty chunk of video data for breakfast. You're submitting security footage into evidence? New security footage? The police cooperated the witness's testimony using the house's cameras. He did it, didn't he? That's the thing, is like, I feel like that would be like the twist, right? Is we're doing all of this, and then like the video that we've been building up to for the past like 2 hours just proves that he killed himself. But that can't be the conclusion. There's got to be like something going on. Anyway, the police cooperated the witness's testimony using the house's cameras. Security cameras installed by Noble as part of the penumbra system that showed the parlor, the kitchen. What if, again, like I said, he wanted to kill Jung and he just fucked up? I mean, it's possible, man. It's possible. But not the basement. During the course of my investigation, I uncovered a hidden security circuit buried in the deceased's own home system. But yeah, no, like, low-key, I've been kind of dreading seeing the video because that's the vibe I've been getting the whole time. Because I'm like, they've been building up this video too much for it to just give us what we need. You know, it's going to completely turn everything around in a horrible way. During the course of my investigation, I uncovered a hidden security circuit buried in the deceased's own home system. You what? People say that the Delta must have been in Dr. Asher's cup because there's no other way for him to have ingested it. But we never saw him or anyone else put anything in his cup on camera because he must have poisoned his own drink off camera. Exactly. What? That's the only possible explanation, that he added the Delta to his drink off camera. He placed his cup inside the manufacturer, activated it, waited 2 minutes, and then walked upstairs to his death. But I'm about to present to the court footage retrieved from his basement. Footage that will show by the time he retrieved the cups in the basement, it was already past 7:38. Meaning he didn't have the opportunity to poison himself. One clip of footage will prove all of that. If it doesn't, I'm completely screwed. I will jump out a window. It's not like I can lose a preliminary hearing extra hard. Anything other than a royal flush here means I'm bust. So I better be the Joker who dances. The data has been entered into the court record. Sarah, show us when Dr. Asher entered the basement. Yes, Adonai. Search for it now. Here, on screen. My heart's like actually racing. That's the bar. The timestamp is 7:39. There's David grabbing a bottle of Rose River and leaving at 7:37, just under the wire as it were. Is that it then? I came this far just to wait. Did he have the cups with him? Is there sound? Not at all. Keep going. If you had to go back to get the cups, counselor. What's that android doing on camera? This was another thing I was afraid of. It's at the bar. The android gave him the cups. That machine never stepped on camera upstairs once. We don't know its whereabouts the day of the death. Could have poisoned the cup whenever it wanted. What is this? I don't understand. Your Honor, have the courtroom cleared. Understood. Oh, god damn it. That was the thing I was that was another thing I was thinking might happen. I was like, it's somehow going to be Sarah, isn't it? I don't know what's going on. God damn it. Sarah, you need to shut down. Please tell me what I'm looking at. I don't remember any of that. Do we have callers available? Sarah, shut down now. I hate this. That's an order. All right. All right. Is it off? Yeah, it's off. I've seen this before. I won't do anything until I reactivate it. We don't know that. We don't know anything about this thing anymore. Your Honor, in light of the most recent evidence, the people would like to withdraw their charges against Dr. Asher and in this preliminary hearing. It has been made abundantly clear that David Asher did not commit suicide. Very well, the charges are withdrawn and the defendant is free to go. Well, as free as he can be in the afterlife. This case is dismissed. So, here's the thing. We're not done yet. We're not done with this part of the case yet. Or like this case just in general, right? So now I think this is just going to shift from proving her innocence. I am curious though. Can androids be hacked? Well, she can hack other androids, right? That's like a thing she can do. So there's two things. I'm thinking, right? Is because I thought we were suspecting that like Jung or whatever was like the other, like the right hand man in creating Sarah. Maybe I'm just completely gaslighting myself here. Could be she was playing dumb at knowing who Sarah was. I don't know. But then also, I'm just saying. Hold on. I'm just saying. He knew a lot about making androids. But the thing is, if she was hacked or something, even if she's innocent, they're just going to like not allow her to walk around scot-free anymore. Like, I don't see this ending with anything but like, Sarah's out of commission. They got to kill her, dog. The case is dismissed. Congratulations, Counselor Morgan. Yeah, chuck up another victory for Morgan Esquire. Now all I have to do is deal with the shitstorm of the decade. Well, I'm upset. Anyway, good to know that the title of the stream, I have to stick with my word. The stream is going to end with me murdering everyone in chat and then myself. So stay tuned for that. Well, I managed to prove that David didn't kill himself, and in the process, I proved that his android did. I proved that the android has been walking around with me all day is capable of murder. A killer robot, a true unbound AI with military-grade specs and at least one death to its name already. So much for avoiding the public eye. Thank you for coming here on such short notice, Judge Barrows. Huh? As if I'm doing you some kind of favor. I didn't realize I had any choice in the matter. This isn't some bad joke, is it, Miss Rockford? I'm afraid not, Your Honor. You know, I like the adjutants. I always have. They deal with the criminal trial so that bookish, quite contemplative people like me can spend all day taping up arguments for obscure legal treatises. That's what I like to do. I don't like coming down here and dealing with all this heavy-handedness. Won't someone toiling away under the police state think of the poor bureaucrats? Looks like you have to defend your cute, plucky sidekick from accusations of murdering a family member. Yeah. I certainly don't like making rulings or anything as spicy as AI. She can barely bring herself to say it. And you, Counselor Morgan, you're the one it's registered to. That's correct, Your Honor. So what did it do exactly? Torture an animal, shut down a hospital, crash a coin market? We have it on camera poisoning a man, killing its creator. You mean Dr. Asher? That is, we can't hope to keep this quiet for very long. All we can do is try to wrap it up quickly. Let's make haste. Adjutant, do you have the case number? Case ID is 241277A. Docket number YouTube 984318282. We don't know that. We know everything. I licked my lips after saying that. I don't know why. I also don't know why I said it like that. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh, thank you. Can you repeat that? YouTube 984318282. I think I lost you after the first 8. I have it copied here. What are these security procedures for an incident of this nature? A data quarantine is to be established around any networks the subject was exposed to for more than 66 seconds. All fitting hardware is to be destroyed immediately through incineration at a minimum temperature of 3,422 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Sorry, Spearmint. There's nothing to be done. No debate to be had. This isn't even a decision. Sorry, Sarah. Not Spearmint. If I give you that name, I should at least make the effort to use it. That sounds very hot. Do we have furnaces that get that hot? Of course, there are a number of industrial furnaces within the city limits that I could recommend. Where's the poison, though? Guess we'll find out. Why should I be sorry anyway? I fulfilled the request, favor repaid. I don't owe Sarah anything, especially not if it killed my friend. Right, Morgan? I'm sorry. Just saying how grateful I am that we have the procedures for this kind of thing all laid out already. Yep, keeps things nice and simple. It can feel somewhat severe going through these steps so quickly, but nothing, Your Honor. Artificial intelligence is perhaps the greatest threat to human civilization and the sanctity of life that's ever been. Any piece of software, big or small, no matter the vessel, if it can violate the tenets it was programmed with, it has the potential to cripple our nation in a matter of moments. Yes, couldn't have said it anything better myself. Straight from the textbook, almost. Well, I mean it. Monsters like that just don't belong in this world. They should have never been born in the first place, destroying them as a kindness. If anyone's to blame, no one's blaming you, Counselor. You should have known you were in possession of an AI. She's going to say Asher. I'm talking too much. Probably just tired. It's been a long day and I've had a lot of thoughts. Sorry, Sarah. Whatever you are. You were just born wrong. Not your fault necessarily. If it were up to me, you'd get points for trying. Trying to be something more. Trying to be something at all. or anything other than what you are. It was stupid, of course, and futile, and pointless. Spending hours in front of a TV or laying in bed staring at your phone. Watching, what the hell? Oh, that was us the whole time! Watching stupid movies and trying to paper mache an ill-fitted mask of humanity out of the scraps you could tear out of magazines. Practicing expressions and memorizing lines and trying to get something to take root and grow despite knowing it'd have nothing to feed on. Stupid. Morgan? What was that, counselor? I said objection. Here we go! Alright. This is where the real shit begins. We're getting into the real meat of it, baby! And what are you objecting to? What are you doing, Morgan? I'm a defense attorney. This is what I do. I understand that you've been through a lot these past few hours, counselor, but there's nothing to defend. On the contrary, Your Honor, I have to defend myself. Pardon? You say that this android Sarah is an AI because it broke its tenets. Obviously. And you believe it broke its tenets because of this newly discovered footage that appears to show it committing murder via poison. All true and no laws broken on your part. Here it comes. Never thought I'd be incriminating myself in the courtroom just to make a point. Don't you dare try to entrap me on this. Sarah's papers. Okay. Hold up. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Shoot Emma with my gun. Okay. Hold on. I'm not looking at chat. I short to. Okay. It's an AI because it broke its tenets. You believe it broke its tenets because of this newly discovered footage that appears to show it committing murder via poison. Okay. And then now I look at my evidence, right? Where is the thing? The first thing I want to look at is where is it? Sarah's papers. Written document is to be given absolute ownership of the android Sarah effective immediately. Signed and dated by David Asher over 2 weeks ago. Tax-free transaction, fortunately. Right. Okay, you know what? Okay, last time I said it was too obvious and I overthought it. We're just throwing it in. We're just throwing it in. Don't overthink it. It was the first thing I thought. Let's not overthinking. It's pretty simple, actually. If the state is making the claim that Sarah's an AI, they're accusing me of committing a felony because I'm the legal owner of that android. Right. Pretty straightforward. The hell are you doing? And if the state wants to charge me with owning an AI, I will not take that lying down. I know my rights. Counselor, your argument is self-defeating. Listen to yourself, counselor. Your claim that Sarah is just an android, a product that will be obsolete within a year. We've only known it for a few hours, you've only owned it for a matter of minutes, and yet here you are risking a felony charge to save it from being demolished. Because you're wrong, and I know you wouldn't care. Not unless this android was something special. Look at us, me arguing that I'm guilty and Emma arguing that I'm a softie. It'd be funny if it wasn't so fun. You think there's no reason I want to save this android from destruction other than feelings of personal attachment? Alright, where is it? I can think of at least one reason why I don't want you to turn Sarah into slag. One very convincing reason. One very convincing number. What is that? That number is Sarah's estimated financial value on the collector's market. I got it from an insurance evaluation algorithm. They're designed to lowball you. It does seem like a reasonable incentive for you to want to keep your android intact. It's a free country, Your Honor. I have a right to defend myself, and we have a free market, so I have a responsibility to defend my financial interests. Your Honor, a trial like this would be... I'm not going to let you turn this into this courtroom into a circus, Morgan. You can't spend the next half-decade bringing in expert after expert to testify on the philosophical distinctions between AIs and ads, spiraling into appeal after appeal, all while the media, this machine appears to have willfully killed a man. The public needs answers now. Of course, Your Honor. I have neither the desire nor the resources to get into a drawn-out battle with the state over what constitutes an illegal machine intellect. So, the state says my android, my property, killed a man in violation of its tenets, so they want to take my property and destroy it. I'll prove that my machine didn't harm anyone, so the state will have no reason to suspect it's an AI, and I'll get to keep my property. Unlawful seizure thwarted. Don't be cute. I feel a stomach ulcer coming on. Fine. You'll have your day in court, but it'll be one day, tomorrow. Prove that this machine didn't kill Dr. Asher. Prove that it couldn't have killed him. Anything less than absolute proof, and I'll have the damn thing obliterated. And you'll also be looking at a very real sentencing for the public unrest you'll have enabled. Yes, Your Honor. Dear Rockford, what I'm asking you is just as heavy. Find the truth by the end of tomorrow. We can't settle for anything else. Win or lose, there can be no doubts about the outcome of this case. Yes, Your Honor. And now I need to go lie down. Can I come? You can power down. No! Dude, she's like 10 feet tall, probably amazing at cuddling. Let's be so real. She's literally cute though, colon 3. She's just green. I'm saying, man. Also, sorry that like I was not looking at chat for a lot of like this whole section. I wanted no reactions to give away like what I should think. Cause I'm not trying to gas myself up as being like some genius, but like I'm very perceptive of how like people react to things. So like just based on like chat's reactions to shit, I would be able to pick up on stuff or like infer things that are coming up. So the moment I saw a smiley face in chat, Scrubbin, don't worry, I'm not mad at you. That made me go, ah, shit, it is going to be the Sarah thing in my head. So I was like, I'm going to stop looking at chat until this is done. 88.4 has meter wide hips, just saying it's in her profile. Fair, sorry. No, you're good. You're good. It's just like, I am so stingy about like anything. I am more strict than probably 99% of the human population on spoilers in the planet. You could literally spoil to me that in Gen 10 Pokemon, Sandshrew is in the game, and I'll be like, bro, what the fuck? You just gave away the whole game. Bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Morgan, I misjudged you. At what point? Whenever I wrote you off as a small-time defense attorney just trying to tread water. That is so sweet of you to say, Emma. There's layers to you. You've got backbone. Teeth, even. That said, like, don't feel like you need to, like, hold back, you know, on your feelings of the game. Again, even you can keep sending smiley faces. It's just, I wanted to clarify that, like, once we're in these courtrooms, I'm probably not going to be looking at chat a lot. Yooree will be in Gen 10 Pokemon. One could dream. Smiley face. What the hell is about to happen? This is crazy. Sarah turns back on and shoots Emma in the head. And then the title card pops up. Of the Devil, episode 5. You're going to make me blush. People talk about your kind like you're boxing against the state, fighting the man. Most defense attorneys wouldn't know a cyberpunk if they walked up to them on the street and shot him. Meanwhile, you've just signed up to do 15 rounds challenging the state's authority. Why? Not sure exactly. For David? Yeah, probably. Probably just me being sentimental. But if I had to pick a more lofty reason, well, I think it's all moralizing. People can... Oh, wait, all demoralizing? Demoralizing. People can be evil. They can choose to do evil things for evil reasons. If you want to Excuse me, I just had to, like, burp all of a sudden. If you want to execute them for that, you'll hear no complaint from me. But animals can't be evil, information can't be evil, ideas can't be evil. Guess I'm not convinced AI can be evil either. Whatever else I get up to, I don't want to stand with the book burners of the world. You're more high-minded than I realized. You sure you're in the right line of work? Can't see myself doing anything else. Except murder. What? No, nothing. Good luck, Morgan. There are book burners on all sides these days. I talked a big game just now, but I'm in an even deeper hole than when I was trying to prove David's innocence. Down won't be enough this time. I need to find the actual culprit no matter what. Hey, it's finally July 2nd. Let's go. Mazel tov, baby. Pop some champagne. Let's go. New day, new me. Murder is just a hobby. Oh, true. You don't get paid for it. It's just the love of the game. Precinct 254. Homicide Office. Where are we at? We're a little under 4 hours. I mean, I feel like that's a good stopping point, if any. A big twist. A big twist. We successfully finished the trial, and now we're moving on to a brand new day. I think that's a good stopping point. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Let's go back to well, hold on. I gotta go title screen. Yeah. Defending Sarah redeems her of like 20 murders. True. Alrighty. Turn the music back on. As tempting as it is to do another long stream, to play like some Majora's Mask or something. I won't. I don't want to push my energy today, especially with how much I've been overexerting myself. So that will just be it for stream today. But yeah, that was fun, man. This game is so sick. It's so fun. So I'm assuming we have 2 more streams left of episode 1. I know y'all said 2 or 3 streams depending on how like fast I go through, but just now doing our first court case gives me the vibes of like we're only halfway done. So I'm gonna put in my head that we got two more streams left of this episode. And like I said, once this episode's done, we're going to switch to something else before going on to episode 2. I want to alternate. I'm not sure what we'll be replacing it with though. What if David knew this would happen? Then I would bring him back to life and beat the shit out of him. Wish I joined sooner. Well, hey, this VOD will go up pretty immediately because I didn't show boobs and puss by accident. Any idea where the next of the Devil stream is? Next Saturday. We'll be streaming it on Saturdays until we finish it. Originally it was going to be Fridays, but now Fridays are Monster Hunter Rise nights. So I just flipped it. So we'll be playing it again next Saturday. So yeah. But yes, tomorrow, last stream of the weekend, unfortunately, we will be doing, it is Majora's Mask Day, but I might start Dragon Quest XI tomorrow. And I will say, if I start Dragon Quest XI, that does confirm that we're probably just not going to continue Monster Hunter Stories 2, because that game's pretty tedious. I can't lie. It's cute, but man, it kind of is just the same thing over and over, man. I'm sorry. Which sucks because we just met my favorite character who I'm so attracted to, but it is what it is. So we might do Dragon Quest XI tomorrow because I've been very excited to start that game and actually play a Dragon Quest game because I've never played one before. So we'll either do that or we'll do Majora. But yes, nobody I know is streaming right now, I think. I just checked and I already forgot. Yeah, nobody knows streaming. So we're just going to end like normal. But thanks again for stopping by, everybody. It's been real. It's been chill. Stay safe in this weather, because I did not realize until I woke up today that there's a fuck ton of snow outside. And yeah, I may see some of y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye!